Yo, yo. Yo, what's up? Whoa, man, it always robot. I'm roboting big time, y'all. What's up? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Let me stop that share. Hold on one second. Yo, what's up, Jethro? What's going on?
What is up, BLA?
Can you hear that? Are you roboting on your end?
Yeah, it's roboting on my end too.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on, I'm going to go out and come back in. Hold on.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yo.
There we go. There we go. I got you.
Damn, internet all over the place. What's up? What's going on?
Okay, Pasa, what is going on? King of the Internet, BLA. Is this the first time that I've called in the King of the Internet's show?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're the honored guest.
Late night with Bazed Lit Analyzer.
That's right. We're doing a little Skinemax After Dark late night streaming here. Y'all, thanks for joining us. A little late night here.
Yo, what is up, chat? I gotta say hello to all the homies in the chat because normally I'm in there, but I'm not.
That's right.
I feel like I don't know. This is like a new start of something. I don't know what it is.
It's the start of a new eon, folks. We've got Jethro here, VIP Jethro.
Hi, everybody.
All right, y'all. So we really just threw this up last minute because we wanted to hang out with y'all and talk about Die Hard and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you got to forgive the tech because I had to reassemble all this stuff after the trip. How's the audio? Are we good? Does it sound good?
That's sounding good for me.
Yeah, video was lagging a little bit too. It's the internet and getting stuff like rebooted up. So I don't know why StreamYard does that when I play the music on the second. It's always the second video that does that. That was our homeboy Rooks G. All right, y'all, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hey, Based Homeschool Mama, what's up? Happy
Rachel,
New Year, everybody. Yeah,
we
Happy
got
New
Jim in the
Year.
house.
Happy Christmas. That's what they say. Happy Christmas. Where's my fucking light? Excuse my language, folks. There it is. Found it.
I'm not bragging, but
All right, I found my lighter. So, yeah, what we're doing tonight, you guys, here's what we're doing. We're hanging out late night because it like feels like New Year's Eve already. But that will be tomorrow night. And I don't know what the plan is for tomorrow night. I'm staying in. I always do on New Year's Eve. Well, since, the first half of my life, I didn't stay in. It was wild. It was wild on New Year's Eve. But I hate like going out on New Year's Eve now that I'm a crotchety old fella, I guess. And so I'm sure we'll be in. Maybe I talked to Jerry earlier this week. Shouts out to Jerry.
Shout out, Jerry. Oh, yeah.
And so maybe we'll have something together again, like we did last year. Remember, you guys, last year we had the New Year stream.
What was it last year? I'm trying to remember, King. Sorry,
it was Jerry's channel, and it was Father Deacon joined us.
Right.
Yeah, Posh Redneck joined us.
Posh, that's right. Okay, I'm with.
He was singing Confederate campfire songs. You remember that?
I do remember that.
He was hammered.
Yeah, I think Posh was enjoying himself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's appropriate on New Year's Eve, right? Old Lang Syne, Robbie Burns. But we're gonna go strong into 2024, y'all, because this is gonna be a good year. This is gonna be the year of love, right? The year of love, and the year of I don't know. It's another fucking year.
Yeah, so some other nonsense like that, right?
Yeah, I hope everybody has had a good December. Just a little catch up if you're interested. I just got back I drove 900 miles yesterday. It was a nice trip.
Whew.
And my next, just to chill a little bit here. Rachel, you want to call in, by the way, because we're on StreamYard. I'd love it if you called in if you
Absolutely.
want to. No pressure. Hey, shouts out to the real John Connor out there, who is a true king, a true friend. He sends
John.
He sends $20.
Is he up in chat? I can't see the chat. This is kind of like weird for me. I'm trying to read the chat.
Yeah, can you you can see it? I think there should be two like little windows up there, and you click on the right one, you should be able to see it. But sometimes you can't. But let me send this link, you guys, because I'd love it if Rachel joined us. If she wants to, just for a minute, just to say what's up, if anything. We're really taking it chill tonight, as you can tell. So if later you watch this and you go, you don't like that, well, I wish you a good day, but please stay. That rhymes.
Yeah, this is really kind of spur of the moment, which was great. I love the spot.
Yeah, no, it really is, because we were like, it was like 40 minutes ago. We were like, let's do this. And of course, I was out of cigs, so I had to go to the Wawa real quick. And they were bojangling all over the place, slow as hell. Even though nobody was in there. And
are you a Bojangles fan? I never asked you that, BLA, but this is kind of I don't know. It's off topic, of course, but I just thought
Bill Bojangles Robinson, the dancer actor.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm definitely a fan. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of him because he's from Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and remember he was in the. Has anybody seen that Shirley Temple movie that he was in? Has anybody seen a Shirley Temple movie?
Who is Shirley Temple?
Shirley Temple was the child, for the folks at home, was the original Hollywood actress, and she became Shirley Temple Black. Wasn't she a senator? She was in Heidi. Her famous movie is Heidi. Which is, an awesome movie, because the mean old Swiss granddad becomes shows that he's actually the true loving, caring, protective mountain man granddad. It's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it because my little sister, it was her favorite movie.
I got you.
But Bojangles, the restaurant, the chicken joint. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Bojangles.
thought
Yeah.
that doesn't have
What's
anything to do with anything. I just thought I'd ask real quick. But okay.
why are you a Popeyes fan?
Well, I do like the commercials better.
I don't like the Popeyes commercials because they always talk
Really?
about that Zataran, whatever that is. Zataran Ranch. What's that?
Oh, well, yeah. I don't really eat it, but I like the old commercials. I guess these must be the new ones. I haven't seen those, but the old ones were funny. Don't you remember?
Well, what about just to throw something in the mix here? What about Church's Chicken? And what about KFC? Which remember when they couldn't call it Kentucky Fried Chicken, it was KFC because it
Right.
wasn't chicken. It
Right.
was GFC 199 or whatever. It was
Yeah.
headless, hairless, mutant creature bird that was like engineered to be made into synthetic chicken.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, total hell
right.
world.
I,
There's like no mouth, no head on this mutant chicken bird.
I do remember. I have a funny little KFC story too, but it has to do with this. We were going to a family dinner one night. I don't forget how long ago this was, but anyway, and we get in there. Mind you, I have one sibling, older sister, and so we all get in there, and we discussed it beforehand. Where do you want to eat? We eventually, long story short, we end up at KFC. She doesn't bring any objectives to this at all, mind you. So you know where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, there's this big line in there, of course, and we're almost up to the register, and then what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And then she's like, "Well, I'm not eating this because I hate it or whatever." It's like, I like you bringing that up now. And my dad was just like, "Why? Just because they lop their heads off and do all this torture to us?" I was just sitting there. I was dying, man. I couldn't eat. I was sitting there laughing so hard. But anyway, that was my little KFC story.
Well, my sister's college graduation dinner, very fancy. When they brought the desserts out, they brought ice cream out, and they couldn't take a bite, like they couldn't get the spoon into the ice cream. And this was a big, this became kind of a joke. And finally, the waiter came out and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we accidentally served you the lard instead of the ice cream."
Oh, just imagining the taste.
Well, they because they make the display desserts out of lard,
Right.
apparently, which was Norm Macdonald's favorite food. He said there was a kind of beauty to it, a simplicity. So he would bring his lard with him to KFC.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, y'all. We're just riffing. We're riffing here.
Yeah,
I'm sending a link, one more link out to one of our other friends. Hold on, give me one second.
Is this a free for all with random stories and Die Hard discussion?
Of course.
Okay, I got you. Because I wanted to ask, and we're too early into this, I guess, but I was gonna hear because I think you had said you guys watch Die Hard every year at Christmas, so I'd like to hear how it kind of originated in the BLA fan.
Right. Yes, it is a BLA family tradition, I suppose, to watch Die Hard on Christmas night, and which is pretty cool because first of all, Die Hard rules. It's awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Can we all agree on that? Chat, can we agree on that?
Totally.
Yeah,
if anybody says no, kick them out immediately, please.
Yeah. They'll be defenestrated like Hans Gruber, right?
I'll tell you exactly. I would do it myself, but
Yeah. So all right. Let's just think of this, right? Because I know a lot of people have an objection to movies just in general, which I actually, in a way, I can't blame you for that, especially now because I'll get into that later in the stream. But I will say that movies in like 1987, 1988. This was high concept Don Simpson era. I did a stream on Don Simpson, high concept, which, by the way, is like the #1 search term for this channel.
wow.
It's incredible the number of people that search Don Simpson.
Huh? I would not have guessed that.
Right. So So Don Simpson, and Jerry Bruckheimer ruled the 80s and the 90s. They just totally revolutionized Hollywood, right? From the sort of auteur era of the gritty 70s film, and they became these big blockbuster movies that oftentimes had military industrial complex assistance, right? Think of Top Gun, etc. Or Top Gun on a submarine, right? Crimson Tide. Well, Die Hard is interesting because it's John McTiernan who also directed the other greatest movie in the
Right.
world, which is Predator, right?
Right. That's correct.
And these are like this is a totally bygone era. This is over. It's gone. This is a thing that is not around anymore, which is you have one central alpha protagonist hero that the entire plot revolves around, and you completely root for him all the way, and he's going to save the day, but how's he going to do it? And this one's interesting because Bruce Willis is like, when he made this movie, he didn't really fit that type.
Right.
He's not a bodybuilder or anything. He was in Moonlighting.
And
But
that was pretty much it, right?
yeah, that was it. I mean, and like, I don't know. Do people think Moonlighting is good, like in a retro way? It's not good. It's was that Sybil Shepherd?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know no Iris.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go back to your fucking tribe. I don't know no Iris. I'm hip. I'm hip.
You don't look the whip. You don't look the whip, huh?
Dr. Lecter. Dr. Lecter, I played a streetwalker and Taxi Driver. Did you see me in that movie? Sybil Shepherd was one of Elvis's girlfriends. Did you know that?
It seemed like I did know that, but seeing as how you say that again, that's very interesting.
Yeah, because she's from Memphis.
It's kind of like BLA and I have discussed superstars. We get confused, and I think Sybil Shepherd and what's her name, Murphy Brown. I get them confused.
I was
all the
just
time.
Thinking that. That's crazy. That's who popped in my mind when you
Candice
said
Bergen,
confused. Yes, they're the same person.
Right. Right.
Candice Bergen was famous. Remember what she was famous for?
Right. Right. Yeah.
What
and I thought you were going to bring up something else.
What was it? Was it the first lesbian kiss on TV? Is that what happened?
Well, I was thinking more in the Chaz realm of discussion, but yeah.
What, you talking Charlie?
Right. Yeah.
Wait, remind. Oh, from Chaos. Okay.
Right. I remember especially because her photo was featured in there.
Oh, because she was the snitch.
Right. Right.
Okay, so what we're talking about, chat, is that in the book Chaos about Chaz Manson, which keeps coming up, by the way, of all people, Candice Bergen was an informant in the greater investigation, I guess.
Yeah, she was. What's his name? Who's the guy the record producer guy?
Terry Melcher.
Yes, his girlfriend for a time.
So weird.
Which is wild, right? Because all I knew forever was Murphy Brown, and when you see that, it's like, whoa, all right.
What a lame show, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that is the archetypal, like, busy businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's kind of. Did that like kind of start that whole thing, or was it 9 to 5?
I would think that Murphy Brown would probably, at least on network TV, probably had a big. Where's Gersh? He would probably remember. Well, he didn't watch TV probably at that point, but anyway, shout out to Gersh.
Yeah, shouts out.
But you're probably right about that though. 9 to 5.
Didn't Candice Bergen played a mind control mother in him? It wasn't Manchurian Candidate, was it?
No, that was Moita. She wrote. What's her name?
Yeah, that's the original one. What about the remake with Denzel?
You're talking Denzel. Yeah, I can't remember. You're probably
was that Meryl Streep? Probably.
Yeah. Meryl Streep.
Anyway, all right. So look, I know we are going on a lot of tangents here. Shouts out to everybody out there chilling with us right now. So Die Hard. Let's get back. Not like we need to stay on the subject. We're just riffing here, y'all. So Die Hard. Let's do an analysis here.
This is just before this is BLA and I do have discussions quite a lot, and this is kind of how they go. We're just like this and that, and we do go off on tangents. So this is you're getting the schizo conversations in real time.
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, just to put this whole thing in context, Jethro here, who is the king mod of all time, it's weird how the internet works, right? Because we met in a chat, in a JD chat in 2020. And I talked to Jethro more than I talked to any other human being. Right.
Real? For real?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because, of course, with Karanka and all that, what happened was, and I love them, but what happened was obviously lines were drawn and stuff. They did that to us.
Right.
And, you get older and all that stuff and people kind of come and go. But everybody here knows that happened and that, people were also brought together. So, I'm very thankful for that.
In a lot of ways, I mean, it really did. Jay's chat kind of produced a lot of what we have now as far as a nice little community of folks, if you want to call it that. Because the funny thing is I think we both were in the chat. I had watched Jay for a long time, but I didn't really join the chats. And then I think you were probably in the chats long before I was. And we were both in there, but of course we didn't talk to each other.
No, I was never. When I met you, it was the first time I ever got in a chat.
Oh, okay.
I'd never engaged with anybody. Of course, we were both there before there were even live streams. It was just video.
Right. Getting a little long in the tooth there. Yeah.
We're the old time. What's he saying? Blazing Saddles. And no cotton picking. What does he say?
Dang old blurb, dang farm it.
The sheriff is. No, we can't do that.
Oh yeah, we can't quote that one. Yeah. The sheriff is near.
That's right. What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
Lito will love it if we quote Blazing Saddles all night, but we probably should do that. But.
Well, look, it's Slim Pickens, and there's a tie-in with Kubrick, obviously, for Dr. Strangelove, which is going to be my next stream, by the way. And shouts out to Roscoe P. Cotrain, who a long time ago sponsored a stream on the Kubrickon book.
Nice.
So I tore through it in an afternoon, Christmas Day, and it's by this guy Jason Horsley. I won't get too much into it. I'll just say that it's kind of a contradictory book, but it was I learned some interesting things about Kubrick. So that'll be the next one. We'll talk about Kubrick and the book and how it portrays the greater situation, because he references, Karanka and the current things in the book, which is interesting. And it's about AI and Kubrick and his sort of ties with people. One thing I'll say that I learned is that there was this guy who was a warlock witch guy in LA. And this guy was like a magnet for all the celebs. And Kenneth Anger filmed inauguration of the Pleasure Dome at this guy's house. And that was where Bobby Beausoleil and all these people, including Kubrick, met at that place, which is crazy because it's, through and through a cult. So that lends some credence to, I guess, a symbolic sort of analysis of Kubrickian films. So
interesting.
So, all right. So what'd you say, Jason? You said cool. Oh, cool. Look forward to that BLA. Hey, shouts out to Jason out there.
Shout out Jason. Jason is the king.
Melaforte. Yes. Jason Horsley. That's right.
Mela.
Tommy says, I always imagined Jethro would be like a cool older brother, but he sounds more like a based uncle. Well, speaking of which, by the way, tomorrow is our 1 year anniversary when we met IRL.
Yes, indeed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was also kind of spur of the moment, wasn't it?
That's right. Yep. So I'm the only one here who has seen Jethro in person. How
Yeah,
about
and
that?
yes, and he can attest that the rest of you don't want to see.
Yeah, you say that, but like, this like 6'2", normal looking, regular lad shows up, and I was like,
Well, just picture like pudgy older bubble boy, and
no,
you have me. That's
definitely not. I mean, look, I was a little nuglet getting out of my car after 10 hours of driving.
oh yeah, you'd already been on the road for long
Yeah,
time.
that trip I went the other way. I went from Atlanta, which sucks.
Oh
That
yeah,
drive.
yeah.
And then this trip, I got to meet Jay and Jamie, which was cool. That was awesome.
Oh, please do tell. Yes, please. I think are we the only ones that have discussed this? I don't know, Bill. Have you told any
Yeah,
of them?
yeah. Well, if anyone was there for the DPH stream the other night,
Oh, okay, right. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, it was cool. I was, I was driving across the South, and you know, and then when I was getting close to a location, Jay and Jamie came and like very kind, went very far out of their way, came and met me. We went to a nice restaurant, and so I got to hang out with them for an hour or two. We went and got some arts and crafts for Jamie, and
Jamie, do the arts and crafts.
that's right, a turtle. Look at the turtle he races.
Oh my goodness.
Jay's got that flow going on, dude. He's got that McConaughey long-haired era flow going.
Yeah, somebody was objecting to that in his chat the other night. What are you talking about? That's not even.
Yeah.
He's not even at the length he was way back.
Yeah, well, they can object to this.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
No, it was awesome meeting them, and that was very cool. They were very kind, very sweet, very funny people. So, and then I got back on the road and kept on going, and then hung out with the fam.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, I will say on the ride back, my favorite part of this is like not related to anything, but if you ever go on a 14-hour drive, right, and then you cross over into Virginia and you got to go forever up 81, when you finally turn on to 64, you go right into the Shenandoah Valley and Skyline Drive, and that's why I've been around the world, but I'm a Virginian through and through, and it's like it's a heaven on earth. It is so majestic and majesty. I mean, God just put these mountains here and draped them in blue,
Amen.
and opened up this valley.
Amen.
And it's awesome. So
Amen, brother.
all right, so let's do some Die Hard here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what were we talking about? Die Hard. Yeah.
All right, so Die Hard. John McTiernan directed this movie.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm just to interject again. Well, I don't know. I was going to bring up about him going to jail. Do you remember that?
McTiernan?
Right. Yeah. He. I forget.
Tell the folks at home what happened.
I forget exactly the details, but there was something about. I remember hearing it at the time. Is that he went to, I believe, federal prison.
Oh, this wasn't that long ago, was it?
It wasn't very long. I think it was like 10 years ago or something. I just remember.
Was this over money? Was this money related?
Yeah, I think they tried to get him to wear a wire for something, and he didn't do something or another. Anyway, he ends up in jail for a certain period of time, and I'm like, are we talking about the Die Hard director?
Totally forgot about that.
Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd just throw that out. But
yeah, that's crazy. When was that? It feels like it was just a few years ago. It was probably like 15 years ago.
Yeah, I want to say it was. I'm thinking like 10, but I could be wrong. Somebody in chat will probably know. But
tried to get him to wear a wire.
I'm probably wrong about that, but I get
look, I'm the Predator director. I'm not wearing no fucking wire.
Right. I think it was probably some kind of Hollywood entrapment going on, or who knows what. I can't remember the details, but I just thought that was bizarre when I heard it. And I'm like, are we talking about the same guy? But anyway, sorry to interject. But.
Well, remember when Robert Evans was caught? Was he smuggling like kilos in with some surfer girl?
Oh, really?
Remember that?
I do a little bit, yeah.
That's what ended. That's what ended his '70s reign over cinema was that thing. Like Jack
Mm.
Nicholson was involved somehow, and even I think Polanski was still around at that time.
Oh man. Oh, so
Fucking Hollywood.
yeah, if we're gonna bring up one name, oh my goodness, Polanski. Goodness.
Yeah,
What?
so Hollywood is totally broken, obviously, and my little take here is that the strike and the AI stuff. What's amazing is that they introduced this stuff, and they brought it in, and then I think it got away from them somehow, which we're seeing the results of this now,
Mm-hmm.
because, and I bet they don't even understand how much it's infected, just like making movies, because I went and saw this film the other night with my parents, called The Boys in the Boat, kind of a fake and gray title, but it's about a rowing crew team that won the Olympics in 1936. And Hotler's there watching him. He gets mad, which that part didn't happen. But anyway, um, when you're watching the movie, what's weird is that there's something off, and I don't know if other people like get this, but there's just something that's not in place when you're watching the movie, and it's not because George Clooney directed it. It's not like it's that there's something like that's not human about it, because there are these non sequiturs amongst the characters and how they talk and how they relate to each other. And so I guess I realized at the end of it that probably what happened is that the screenwriter or someone used, I wouldn't be surprised if they used AI to, complete parts of the script or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that they thought it would go unnoticed, even. This is total speculation, but it would go unnoticed. But it's noticeable because there's no like blood in it. There's no like heart in little scenes. And I think that it's totally like taken over a huge part of the industry. And then it makes sense. Okay, then they do the strike or whatever, if that's what happened. But it's crazy that they did this and now this has happened. I don't even know if there's any turning back from this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of doubting it.
Okay,
But
so Die Hard, like Die Hard for example, is, I know it's based on it's an adapted screenplay. I can't believe there's a book. I should get it. I should read the book. But it's such a well-written movie in every way. Everything about it is tight. Yeah, it's got like a couple of plot holes and some, contradictory elements, but who gives a shit? It's a great movie. It's a great story. The characters are well developed. Like it's another example of, you have these characters who enter the movie and you feel like they've lived whole lives before they got there. And if they die in the movie, it's the end of that arc. But if they survive, they're going to go on and live the rest of their life. Like, it's very real, not realistic, but it's very like truthful and real. Even the bad guys, especially, right?
Oh yeah,
a lot of character development.
Yeah, they definitely cast the right person for Mr. Gruber. Yeah. Totally.
Oh, he's so awesome, dude. Alan Rickman.
R.I.P.
is.
Oh man.
I mean, so what's your take on Alan Rickman as the arch villain? I mean, he's probably one of the top 10 or top 5 cinema villains, at least of the late 20th century. He's very good as a villain in this movie. He's got all the elements. What's your take?
I totally agree. There's just something about his I don't know if you'd say presence. Of course, the trained actor BLA, he will know exactly what I'm trying to say, and I'm not exactly.
His presence is a jouissance. He has a jouissance.
Exactly. That's exactly what I meant to say. Plus his voice. How can you mistake that voice? You can't, right? You know what I mean? I think the thing that was most interesting to me is the third one, and casting Jeremy. And I know we're jumping to the third one, but casting Mr. Irons as his brother. I remember that at the time, and I'm like, very interesting choice.
He goes, silence. How does he say it in Kingdom of Heaven? Silence. He sounds like me at the end of my life combined with AJ.
Right.
Very, very grating voice, but very, who is he in The Lion King? Oh, by the way, Jeremy Irons went to my drama school. I met him at a cocktail party when he came back for Les Mis thing.
I remember you tell. So yeah, please relay this. I know we keep getting on these little tangents, but I always this is why we love BLA folks. I love hearing these stories.
Well, it has to do with how these movies are made because Alan Rickman went to RADA, which is where a lot of these guys went, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, of course, in London. And Jeremy Irons went to Bristol Old Vic, where I went. And he was trained by this guy, Rudy Shelley, who was like this old man master, acting teacher. He was one of these great guys. He's the guy who taught Daniel Day-Lewis and all this stuff. And he came back for this cocktail party for the 50th Les Mis anniversary because Cameron McIntosh, the guy who produced it, I don't know if he was also trained there. It has something to do with my school, but also Jeremy Irons has a son who's an actor now, Max Irons.
Oh yeah,
he's in that movie. He's in Noah. I think he's in Noah, right?
Yeah, seems like I remember that.
And honestly, like he does not have the riz of his dad, which is okay. But Jeremy Irons is like. So Jeremy Irons is great in two particular movies. He's great in the movie where the Dersh character is in it. It's about how Dersh defended that count in New York who, like, his wife ended up dead, and Dersh defended him. And Jeremy Irons won an Oscar for that role. Something Doubt, I think. Something Doubt. And he's also great in Red Sparrow. Remember Red Sparrow? He plays the Soviet general.
Right.
Great in that movie. Underrated role, underrated movie.
Oh, what about in With a Vengeance? What did you think?
Oh man. Okay, so the third Die Hard movie, which is where they should have stopped, is great because it's another predictive Progue Big 9 event movie. Because if you guys remember the plot of the movie, they create a diversion, a psyop, so they can hijack the gold bullion from. Did they take it from the Federal Reserve in New York?
Correct. Yeah.
So he is the leader of a terrorist cell who's supposedly trying to get vengeance for his dead brother Hans Gruber from the first movie, but it's just a diversion. And Die Hard also is one of these movies people sometimes cite as predictive Progue because there's not really a lot, but the poster at least of Die Hard.
Totally.
Yeah, because it's Nakatomi Tower, but it looks like two towers on the cover. And a helicopter. The helicopter is shot down, but it like crashes into the building, I think, in the movie. Does it crash into the building?
I was trying to remember. Geez, I hadn't watched it in a while, but you're probably right.
It's just like Vietnam. I was in the 7th grade. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But
were you in Laos?
When I was in Burma, when I was eating a long pig. That's what they eat there, long pig. Wagyu beef. Down in I don't even live in the continental United States.
I'm in the Baja.
Chris Kyle, I'd never even met him. Yeah, he's a liar.
He doesn't have any courage. You know why
Poor
he doesn't
Jesse.
have any courage? Because he won't tell the truth.
That Theo Von, when he's talking about when Jesse was on there, is very funny.
Oh, totally. I hadn't watched that entire episode, but I saw him saying, how horrible it was trying to get some words in. And I did watch it when he was on Rogan, and it was like that. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Rogan,
have you ever heard? He's like, how you doing? He's like, well, have you ever heard of the CIA's Pink Mist program?
Right.
Which is very funny and interesting for us. But what AJ has that obviously Ventura doesn't have is like, AJ knows when to pull back and, like, especially when he's a guest on another thing, right? He's funny and he's very charismatic, but he's like sociable.
Right.
And Ventura, like, obviously just did not.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like, I don't know if this guy's if he's just a clinical psychopath or what the deal is, but
I mean, there's like, there's no governor. There's no governor on Governor Ventura. I was the governor of Minnesota.
When I was governor of Minnesota, I found out that the CIA had penetrated the governor's mansion. They were in every office. I kind of messed that one up.
Arnold's always been jealous. I have bigger arms than he does. I love that clip when he's talking about when they were trying to work out each other on Predator.
Right. Yeah. Which is, by the way, like Predator Arnie is like top form. That's
Oh yeah, totally.
Arnie is that movie. Okay, we can't get it. Okay, should I read my little review that I wrote? My synopsis of
Back to Die Hard? Are we talking about Die Hard?
Well, I wrote one of Predator.
Oh, okay.
2 years ago. It's pretty good if I don't say anything. If I say something myself, let's see if I still have it.
And while BLA's looking for that, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm sure King Jason's been dropping the links for the super chats, donos, because Jason is a real one. He is the king.
Salute to our friend Jason right there. Yes.
Who else is in chat? I can't see him.
Well, we got Tommy Jones. Is it worth it? Yeah, if you're strong enough. We got Sabrina.
Oh yeah.
We got Hattori Hanzo right there. We got Caravaggio, real John Connor, of course.
All right. All the real ones. All the real ones.
Join us for this late night. What day is this? A week? Is this a weekend? What is this?
I forget myself.
It's Saturday. Yeah, when I'm on vacay, I forget days, which I think is healthy because it means mentally I'm far away from work mind.
Right. Totally.
Work fucking sucks. Doesn't it suck that everyone has to work?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess in a few more years we don't have to worry about that.
Why? Because we're all dead. Everyone's dead.
We would be the robot polar shows by the end.
All right, Predator. Here we go. I wrote well-developed characters and interwoven mission theme makes the predator to prey role reversal seamless. A cliched jingoistic Reaganite prop film levels up to survival techno war horror film about a physical demon with body mods and its own profane mission. It collects trophies mirroring the MO of the Matamoros cartel cult and even annihilates itself in a fitting Deus Ex Machina. It's interesting that the hero's name is Dutch, Reagan's own nickname, thus closing the hero's journey with a patriotic denouement worthy of Bernays, or perhaps more apt, Riefenstahl at the zenith of their careers. It's my synopsis.
Wow. I tell you, nailed it.
Riefenstahl, if you guys get the references, Lenny Riefenstahl, who made that movie Triumph of the Will, that about the Nuremberg rallies.
Yeah, over there for that guy.
That guy, crankly, that guy.
What does JD call him? Tiny mustache man.
Yeah, tiny mustache man. Yeah. So yeah, but Predator's great. It's a great, it's there's a lot of, obviously there's nationalistic, jingoistic propaganda in the movie, but it's a great movie. And the Matamoros thing is interesting. I read this book on the Matamoros cult when I wrote that, and it just so happened to tie in because they were one of these cartels in Mexico. They were infamous because a couple of Americans on vacation in the 80s went missing, and it turned out they'd been abducted by this cartel, and that what was the leader's name was Costanza. It was like Seinfeld, Costanza, and he was a full-on practicing like warlock witch shaman. And he had a bruja in the cult. That was his woman. And they did gnarly, what do you call it? Santeria shit. And that's how they sort of ran their own their cult. And when they finally found the farm or whatever where they were based and they were running their operations, it was Like they had like cauldrons in corners of sheds with like human body parts, and the guy wore a human like rib cage spine as a necklace, like just like Predator in the movie.
Right. They're like Dolph Universal Solid. Is it you or Jay that keeps bringing that up? Now wearing the ears.
Yeah, the ears. Well, that comes from Ears for Beers,
Right.
which was Phoenix program. So we count the number of people from the ears you bring back, or heads, whatever you got. That's one of the guys that Kurtz was based on.
Oh, right. Interesting.
He looks just like him, by the way. The real guy. What's the guy's name? Not Bo Gritz. Colonel. Somebody in chat. What's the name of the colonel from Phoenix program who did Ears for Beers? Somebody find that for me.
While you look for that, we're going to sing Tears for Fears. So we.
Nice. Nice.
No, I can't sing. I can't sing. So.
Sowing the seeds of love, dude.
Ooh, good one. Sowing seeds of love.
What's crazy is Tears for Fears are one of these groups who, like, I guess because of TikTok, those songs are like the young people know they know those songs, which is unusual because they, it's so long ago to them, but they recognize those songs and they're popular again for them.
Yeah,
because they're great songs.
Like a boomerang effect for a lot of the certain artists, but yeah, I can see that for sure with them.
I was listening to Robert Palmer came on when I was driving. Yeah, Addicted to Love. I was trying to listen to the new Robert Palmer tape, but Evelyn kept yapping in my ear.
You want to fit in.
Oh gosh, is that Ivana Trump? Oh, come on, Marcus. I mean, Patrick. What would Ivana be doing it? They're not at a spas. Where are they? They're at the charcoal arugula and the mud soup. So anyway, Robert Palmer came on, and I'd never really paid attention to the lyrics of that song, but the first half of the song is like it's like Louis Jolly and West wrote the lyrics to the song.
Wow.
It describes a guy like programming a Candy Jones, but it morphs into, she's addicted to love. Like it's an 80s, like love is the drug, right? But the first half of the song is interesting because it has all the verbiage of, one of those songs. I'm not saying it's a Monarch programming song. I'm just saying it has all of the elements of that in it. It might be though. The video is very weird, right? With the girls.
Mm-hmm. Very, very weird. Yes.
I mean, that video looks like a hypnotic programming video, right?
Oh man, we're going meta with American Psycho.
Yeah, I'm going way schizo with this one. Sorry, guys. All right, Die Hard. So here's what happens in Die Hard. Like recap. John McClane is on a plane. He's landing in L.A. It starts with a sunset in the movie, which is interesting. And the plane's landing, and the guy in the seat next to him says, "You want to know the secret? You get rid of jet lag? When you get back to your hotel, take your shoes off and make fists with your toes." I know, sounds crazy, right? But it works. And that little stupid thing that the guy says is what drives part of the plot for the whole movie.
Totally.
Yeah. So John McClane is a New York cop, right? But he's in L.A. and he's going to see his estranged wife because they're separated. And so he goes straight. First he gets a limo, right? With what's the limo driver's name?
Well, the limo driver is
Argyle. That's his name, Argyle.
Yeah.
And McClane, by the way, sits shotgun, right? Not in the back to show that he's the common man. He's not pretentious. Never been in a limo. And he, by the way, he bonds with Argyle like right away because he's likable. And Argyle, the limo driver, is like, whatever you need. I'll chill in the, sub parking lot and wait for you if you need anything. Which is also weird because that's like Big Nine Part 1 in the early 90s.
Right. Right.
And so they get to Nakatomi Tower, which is this giant, shining, looming building in the sunset in Century City, LA. And when they get there, he looks for where his wife's office is. Of course, she's reverted back to her maiden name, which actually saves her, right, in the movie.
Right.
And he goes up straight into this office party where what is it, Nakatomi himself? What's the guy's name?
I believe you're right. Like I said, I hadn't watched it in a while, but I think it is him, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's kind of irrelevant anyway because he's the, suffice to say the guy is the sensei of the corporate global world, right? And the office party is already wild. The sun hadn't even gone down, and like people are chasing each other through the waterfall in the lobby, and like that scumbag guy's like doing fucking gator tails on the girl's desk. Remember that guy?
Right. Yeah.
Bubby. And that guy tries to shoulder in on Bruce Willis, right? Because he's like, show him the watch. Yeah, that's right. It's a Rolex, $20,000, whatever it is. So anyway, John goes back into she has a private bathroom, and he, is trying to get ready. But while that happens, a van drives up, and we see these paramilitary tourists fan out of the truck, and then in the middle comes Hans Gruber. That's an awesome entrance. It's great how that happens. Right. And he's got like this, this flowing trench coat in the middle of all these, Euro trash looking tourists, right? And they kill the front desk man. Huey Lewis takes his place, right?
Yeah,
that guy looks exactly like Huey Lewis.
Now we got to sing some Huey Lewis.
He's like, "Oh damn, I just lost $50 on this game." That part. Oh, and it's got the proverbial black man hacker, right?
Yes, Mr. He just died recently, Conrad from Matlock.
That's holy shit! I didn't realize that was him. Good catch, dude.
Yeah, and he's what's his name in Walker. Those are the two main ones I remember.
Nice, dude. Good catch. Damn.
Yeah, he just died, I think, about a year ago.
What's he say? And was it not field goal? He says, and they catch the ball. What does he say? Something really annoying when he hacks into the thing.
Yeah, shoot, I can't remember.
Anyway, his job is to hack into the extra secure safe, like within the tower, right? Because the safe holds all these treasures and stuff. But what they're after, we find out, is like $400 million or something in bearer bonds. Right. So, you know what bearer bonds are?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a slow boy, so I just learned this.
I was going to say, is there anybody in chat with a financial background?
Yeah, and if you're a secret hedge funder, can you send a bearer bond our way? But remember, they're after the same thing in heat, right?
Yes.
Take the bearer bonds, collect on the insurance.
Right.
So I learned that bearer bonds, my dad told me this, bearer bonds are like basically whoever holds the bond, right, has the money basically. So it's not like a check. It's like you present the bond physically and there's the money. So why would they have these bearer bonds? Well, I guess like as a loan for building the tower or whatever projects they have going on, right? So they're issued bearer bonds as collateral, I guess. So they know this because Nakatomi Corporation is involved with a bunch of sketchy globalist projects around the world, of course. Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. They're like building bridges and shit like that, but they're involved in like oil and, whatever, financing shit. So, of course, just like and this is a big thing that people don't really understand, especially when they talk about like the mob, that this isn't random. The people pick this because they exist in the same world, right?
Mhm.
So if the corporation is involved in financing, let's say, East German terrorism, then they're I guess a legit target for later, taking the money back and then financing whatever they're going to do with it. Does that make
Right.
sense, chat?
Mm-hmm.
So they got to hack into this thing. And while that's going on, they go up into the party and they start, blasting the ceiling. And Hans Gruber, wants to gather everybody together and say, where's Nakatomi? Even though he knows exactly what he looks like. Duh. But he's terrorizing the party goers, I guess. And McClane hears the gunshots and wisely, assesses the situation, gets his gat that he brought with him. And what does he do then? I guess he slinks out of the party onto another floor.
I just remember him closing the door. And does he go in another room first, and then he goes up in the in the duct? I can't remember.
Yeah, I forget how he escapes that situation, but whatever he does, he's maneuvering to find the best way to take out these terrorists, right? And he does so very skillfully, because one thing about the movie this is shown in the movie, but it's not told, is that obviously McClane is some sort of Vietnam guy. He's probably a Marine, I guess. He's got like a skull tattoo with a top hat and a rose on his bicep. It's only in one brief shot,
Right.
but it makes sense,
Is he wearing dog tags? I can't. He is, isn't he? Or
He
is
might,
that later?
he might be actually.
Because in the third one, he definitely does, right? I remember that. Anyway, not that it's probably important, but
yeah, I mean, but it gives him a kind of pedigree for like at least understanding what's happening right away on the surface. I mean, it's crazy because I don't know how anybody wouldn't understand this right away. What's happening? Who are these guys? What do they want? Well, they don't look like they look like Eurotrash with Augspire Austrian rifles and long blonde hair. These guys are right.
It's Trans-Siberian Orchestra that came in and took over the hotel.
Good reference. Have you seen them? Have you ever seen them live?
I have not. I totally want to, but
I saw them a few years ago. It's exactly what you think it is.
Well, I don't know why I brought them up. I know it's probably not blonde hair, but it seems like every time I see them advertising, I'm sure the guitarists change out and all that, but it's long blonde hair.
No, the drummer looks like the ho 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 blonde guy.
Right.
He's the same guy.
Right.
I bummed a cigarette to that dude in the alleyway during the intermission when I saw it.
For real?
Yeah.
What?
Dude, I was like, dude, you're the drummer. And he was like, yeah, man, it's a fucking gig or whatever. I was like, all right. Like, can I get a cigarette? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. You guys are fucking, you're the Trans-Siberians, man. He was like, yeah, I'm from San Diego, but whatever.
It's just a gig. Huh? I had a funny, just a tiny little story. It's funny that you said that because bringing up celebrities or whatever. And one of my buddies I used to work with, we were talking about something with Steve Buscemi, and he's like, "Yeah, he owes me money," and I thought he was joking, and I was like, "Right, owes you money, good one." I'm like, "What's he talking about?" And he's like, "No, literally, like I was at a gas station, and he bummed $2 off me. He's like, I'll pay you back or something."
$2.
He's like, "I'll pay you back." And I never saw him again or something. I was like, "What? Are you making this up?"
It'd be funny if he got an IOU from Steve Buscemi, and then he's sitting there with the IOU, and he's like crossing out names, putting on lipstick.
Right, kind of like Steve Buscemi is crossing names in Billy Madison, right? Yeah. He has to take Buscemi on the list. Anyway, sorry to throw that in there, but it just popped in my head all of a sudden.
So let's see what happens. Okay, so they kidnap Nakatomi, right? And they're like, "Look, we want your shit," right? And he's like, what do you mean? We don't have cash here. This is a corporate building." And they're like, "Shut the fuck up, dude. You know what we want." And one thing I noticed in the most recent reviewing was that I think every character who dies in the movie invites their own death. So, like, for instance, the Nakatomi guy's like, "Look, if I don't have this, then you can shoot me." He doesn't say that, but he offers a thing that he thinks is going to, like, help him, get sympathy or get out of the situation. But because these guys are hardcore, tourists, they just do exactly what he asked them to do. It definitely happens with that scumbag guy, because there's the part where he goes, "Point the gun at me to make it more realistic."
Right. Yeah.
Bobby. So he gets his head blown off, and this terrorizes the entire office, who are held captive by the tourists. Meanwhile, McClane, so they take him to another office, right? And then McClane gets into the office and he smokes like two of the guys, and the guy's like on top of the table, right? And he's like, "I'm going to get you."
Yeah.
"When you have to shoot." And he goes, "Okay." And he shoots him. So that's another example. And in that scene, the way they did that scene, so McClane is like on his back under the table and he shoots up, right? But what's weird is that the way that he's holding his gun it like foreshadows the fact that it's also a cowboy tale, because he's Roy Rogers, right?
Right.
And at the end of the movie, right, he does yippee-ki-yay, and it's like a duel because he has two shots. And when he shoots his submachine gun, he shoots it like from the hip, cowboy style. So it's like little things in the movie that are really like they don't seem important, but when you're watching it, they sort of subconsciously show you that this is the good guy, he's the cowboy, these guys are the bad guys, and the good old American, out west. It's a Western, right? They're in LA. They're out west. He's from the East. Is going to triumph over this European scumbag tyranny or whatever, right?
The evil doers.
Right. And at that point, he kills the guy. Is that when he gets the guy and is that when he puts him on the elevator? That might be later.
Man, I should have watched it before I believe you're right, though. Yeah.
The sequence really isn't that important. It's just that the fact that the things happen. And that's one of the Christmas elements of the movie, right? Because ho, ho, ho.
Yep.
Merry Christmas, which is that's also a weird sort of Phoenix thing to do, right? It's hearts and minds, a terrorizing thing aimed at the terrorists. Because one of their own is sent on an elevator, and he's like got a Santa hat on, and he's got, it looks like blood, but it's like lipstick. But what it accomplishes is that it makes them go, "Oh, well, there's a guy here, and it's going to be a problem." And remember in the Doug Valentine book, he talks about how in Phoenix, like the guys would burst into a house and they'd yell, was it trick or treat?
I believe so. I haven't read too much of that, but that would make sense.
I think that was this thing. They said trick or treat and then just like, slaughtered everybody. But the point is that now the bad guys are being eliminated, and then eventually Bonnie will observe this and she'll say, "It's John. There's only one person that could make someone that mad. My husband." Right. Oh, so now she appreciates her husband, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We need Rachel to call in because we need some commentary on this part.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because this is a great example, right? She's mad because she wants to be busy businesswoman and go to the West Coast, and he's got a job. protecting the people, the fine people of New York City. Um, and she probably gets like in Heat, right? She gets mad because he's never there, and I'm sorry if the chicken got overcooked.
Ralph.
I got a guy.
Oh man, we're gonna get off on that for an hour if we don't.
Right.
I want you to be there too.
But don't touch my motherfucking TV. Postmodernistic bullshit, dead tech. Yeah. So anyway, so John starts eliminating the guys, and sort of one by one or in twos, and then eventually he makes his way up into the he gets a radio, and he gets that's when he contacts Reginald Vell Johnson, right?
Oh yeah, shout out Carl Winslow.
That's right. That scene's great. The first time you see him, it's for my wife. She's pregnant. Yeah, sure. That clerk, the cashier, sure. He gets the call in the convenience store, so he goes to check out Nakatomi. What's the call about? Because McClane calls 911, and they don't believe him. Of course, right.
Right.
Sir, this is a reserved line for emergencies only. So they send Carl over there. He takes a lap around the parking lot, and then eventually goes into the building where Huey Lewis is watching the Kentucky game or whatever. And he decides, nah, this is bullshit. There's no alarm. So he leaves, which is weird because it shows that the corporate entity has their own thing where if their security system or if they say, we don't want you here, the cops have to abide by that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then he goes around, and then, of course, McClane defenestrates the guy and throws him through the windshield, and then he backs up like a really long way, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? He reverses that cop car for like 500 yards.
It does. It seems like it goes on forever, doesn't it?
Yeah. Get everybody here, everybody. So SWAT shows up, and it's weird because the SWAT team is very pre-Big Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Like very, non-militaristic. Like the way that they hold their machine guns is like, remember Big Nine? Like after that, when all the police departments got militarized, like
totally.
Every cop was a fucking, Green Beret or whatever with an AR. But before that, it was like, hey, Bubba, you want to be on the SWAT team? All right.
Yeah, with their football helmets and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Remember when they try to breach the door and the guy like goes up and like picks the lock?
Mm-hmm.
It's like in the glass. What the fuck? And then the blowtorch guy comes up and tries to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking Keystone Cops or whatever. Which is funny because the terrorists just blast these guys. And they're locked and loaded. They've got like surface to air missiles and stingers and all kinds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right in their arsenal.
I definitely came prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like buying all those weapons would take up a lot of the profit from the robbery.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, then he gets in contact with Carl Winslow. And then they become, buddies or whatever, but they're on the open line. And one annoying thing is that when Gruber like is on the radio and he's like talking to McClane like does this like comeback, like he does this like repartee with him, but it's not feasible because how does he cut him off on a walkie-talkie?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got to wait for him
point.
to stop talking. Yeah, that part annoys me. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Right. Great line.
Just a funny, I had a friend in high school. I went over to his house and we went into his room and his computer was in there. So I don't know, whatever, we're talking probably he's still using Windows 95, 97, 98. He turns around to turn it on. And guess what the noise, quote, noise was? It was John McClane. Yippee-ki-yay, mother. And then you heard the dial thing with the tone. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And I never
That's
asked him how
awesome.
he did that. But it was loud,
Come
too.
out
And
to
I was
the
like,
coast. Come out to the coast. Have a few laughs.
yeah, she would put that part in.
That's
Like,
that's my favorite
yippee-ki-yay.
line in the movie because he's up in the like air ducts, right? Like he's a rat in a
Mm-hmm.
cage at that point, and he's got his Zippo lighter, and the camera's right in his face, and like all of a sudden there's a stillness in the movie. We've been like on kind of relentless action, and there's a stillness, and it's
Mm-hmm.
one of these things that these movies did so brilliantly, which was like mix humor into the action,
Mm-hmm.
and it
No,
it, it makes him so likable, right?
totally. It has a bit of that Indiana Jones flair where he just gets by him by the skin of his teeth.
That's right. Good call, dude.
But where's
Yeah,
Gersh? We got
absolutely.
to sing Megadeth now. Skin of my teeth. I'm not going to do it anyway. Sorry.
So he's in the air ducts and he's trying to escape the guys because he was up in the elevator shaft and all that. Then he manages to get the bag full of C4 plastique, which is not good for the terrorists because that's their big bomba stuff.
You got a special delivery for the evil Dersh.
That's
The
right.
Tersh.
I'm the decider, and I say Ronnie's going to keep working here. Because I'm the decider. You guys, chat. You guys know that clip? You know what we're talking about? I'm the decider. W was the decider, which is a great word. I didn't know that was a word before, but he's the decider, and he decides whether Rummy is going to keep working for him. He's the decider.
You probably remember my other famous word, strategery or whatever.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
Shame on.
Shame. Can't get fooled again.
I know what you can't see. Might be in Texas, might be in Tennessee.
One day, man and fish will coexist peacefully.
Yeah.
Doctors all over this country will be free to practice their love with their patients.
Right. Oh man, don't you just now we just like yearn for W era compared to all this
really.
nonsense now.
Yeah. Things seemed they seemed simple back then. I was a big W big W guy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was all in, dude. Yeah, axis of evil. Yeah, he's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever it is, just go get him.
Right. Yeah. Fuck him. But one thing that's funny is that famous speech that he did, like on the rubble with the megaphone. I hear you,
Dude. Yeah, I remember watching that live. I mean, that was something, even for W.
That was big. But when you watch it now, I realized that it's not what I thought it was. It's like they built it up, and your memory, builds it up to be this thing. But when you watch it now out of context, it's like, dude, like stand on the thing, and he should have done that in the first place, right? First of all,
Right.
and second of all, they got to ask him to speak up. Speak up, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of odd. Very odd in a way.
We're gonna get these tourists.
Because the thing with him was, he was always trying to present him as the average, everyday kind of person. So, to my mind, I guess I took that as him just being on the same level. I'm on the same level.
Right.
No, I got a microphone in here.
Yeah. This is not what that is a religion of peace.
Yeah. Oh, man.
They called it compassionate conservatism. You remember that?
Right. Yeah. That predates, what was the phrase with Cheney? Remember they used gravitas. That predated gravitas, didn't it?
I thought you were going to say there's a Family Guy where Dick Cheney's like a Walmart greeter.
Right.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Dude, Dick Cheney shot a guy in the face on a duck hunt, and then the guy he shot apologized.
Right. Yeah. I mean, talk about power or some, I don't know what's going on with Cheney.
I didn't like that Cheney movie though that they did with Bateman. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
think it was. It didn't work. The W movie with Josh Brolin is great. The Oliver Stone movie.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the Cheney movie, I didn't think they got right. But you
You
remember
want
that
to,
scene in W where who plays Cheney in that? Is it Richard Dreyfuss?
I think, man, I'm confusing that one with the other one because I was going to say it's, shoot, I can't remember. Jason will know if he's still in the jail. I know he knows.
Yeah. Well, Cheney is explaining his like plan to W, right? And he, names all the countries and he said, there's all the oil and he says this is a all-encompassing plan to completely take over the Middle East. And W's response was like, listen, man, you can't talk like that. And that means that kind of talk scares people. Right? Right. I'm the decider and I want a club sandwich.
Oh,
yeah. So
who was Steve Carell? Was Rumsfeld and one of them, right?
That was that the Cheney movie? It couldn't have been the W movie.
Yeah, I think it was the Cheney movie.
Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell was good. He was also a good W.
Yeah, true.
But
how did we get off into this?
I don't know. Y'all want to know some schizo facts here? What was all right? Here's a quiz. What was W's pledge name in Skull and Bones? Can somebody tell me that? What was his pledge name? I'll come back to it with the answer if nobody gets it. All right, so
maybe Tim Russert knew. I don't know.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh,
that was pretty terrible. I apologize. Lord forgive me.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
Exactly.
I mean, look, like the people that are like, no, everything, it's just normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary here. It's like, no, the two guys were both in Skull and Bones at Yale. Was it at the same time?
Must have been. I know they gotta be about the same age.
Genghis Khan. Remember Carrie saying Genghis Khan?
No.
In those hearings. I threw my war medals over the fence like a Genghis Khan.
I just remember, what's the wife's Teresa? Her all over the place.
Yeah,
her accent,
Yeah. We make the ketchup for the common people. Carrie is like, that dude never stopped. He's still active. He's still an operator and all that shit.
Yeah, and the last thing I remember, well, no, he's done a few things since, but they were grilling him about the plane. It's my wife's plane or whatever. It's like, okay, nice save merch, It's like.
Remember when Trump first went on Air Force One, when he sat at that press conference, he was like, I thought Air Force One would be much better. It's got an odor to it. It smells like brimstone in there. It smells like sulfur and brimstone. It's very nasty. It's no Trump plane, I'll tell you that. He said it smells like brimstone.
Yeah, and then, of course I'm flashing back to Lord Voldemort.
Right.
Folks, they smell like sulfur or whatever.
Get nasty. Loving people. Yeah. All right. So Die Hard. So here's what happens, right? So a bunch of shit happens. This is not a good description. And John McClane kills a bunch of the bad guys methodically, gets in touch with the cop. Meanwhile, on the outside world, shouts out to Randy West, who sent me $1 in Cash App. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Shout out Randy.
And let's read this real quick. and then I won't get sidetracked. I promise. He said, let's see what he said. Randy West just sent $1. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And Real John Connor before he sent $20 and he said for 20 McChickens 10 years ago, now 2.
Oh man, John's a real one.
Yeah. So on the outside world, the SWAT team has showed up and they got this dumbass police chief or whatever who is totally incompetent, right? And then they find out the feds are on the way, need a breath mint. And they try to, what do they call it? Breach the building. But they don't know who they're dealing with because these guys are experienced paramilitary globalist terrorists. And they are armed to the teeth. And they've got SAMs and all kinds of shit, right? Mm-hmm. The SWAT team brings in the tank. And they... Those 2 German dudes, like they set that missile up very quickly. It's very cool how it's done. They, put it on the elevator, they take it up to that floor, bolt it into the floor, and bam,
boom.
So now we got like multiple casualties and all kinds of stuff, and it's a war zone, which is what McClane was trying to tell him. And
is Davi in this part yet? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, yeah. So the feds show up in the persons of Robert Davi from License to Kill and the other guy. Right. Johnson & Johnson. That's their names.
Yeah, right.
I'm Agent Johnson. This is Agent Johnson. No relation.
Oh, yeah.
That's very cool. And also, it's weird how the movie presents the feds as very bad from the very first mention of them. There's this foreboding feeling that when these guys show up, it's going to be a destruction, and they're hell bent on, like they get in the chopper and they fly up, and at this point the hostages are on the rooftop and McClane's up there and he's trying to get them off the rooftop because they're going to blow the roof, and McClane's like firing into the air to get their attention, and they go, "There's the terrorists firing, just start killing," like, and they even say something like, they're like, "Just shoot anybody. It'll be like 60-40 terrorists to civilians or something."
We might get our hair mussed.
Right. Yeah. Just like Vietnam. Or just like Saigon. He says something like that. Yeah, these guys, typical, right? And then they blow up the chopper and McClane ties a fire hose around his waist. That part didn't really make sense on the reviewing because it was unnecessary. Mm-hmm. But he kind of jumps off the building and then he blows his way into into an office. Remember, he still has no shoes on. Okay, so here's a Christmas thing. So one thing about McClane is that he's not only a humble, average, he's a Joe Sixpack, but he doesn't have any shoes on. And in a way, because of the hero's journey, this is probably going too far, like in terms of the analysis, but like there's something like some sort of pilgrimage aspect to this thing where he's got to save these people and he's got to go through hell to do it. And it's almost like this weird sort of like penitent aspect because of no shoes. He's brought low, even though he's high up in the building. He's covered in dirt, right, and grime. And eventually, glass, shoot the glass.
Right.
And that's another example of, because earlier McClane says something about, he says like something about like they're covered in glass or a little glass won't hurt. There's something, he mentions glass, and then that happens to him later when they shoot the glass, and he's got to walk through these shards, and his feet are all bloody. And they have those weird like hockey puck grenade things. You remember those? They slide on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
These things are cool. I was watching Sam Hyde and Nick earlier talking about movies, and they did this thing where Nick was like, he has this thing when they make stuff where they got to have like he called it a scumbag element, which is that in a movie you have to have something like very detailed and concrete that will appeal to like teenage boys, so that the thing they take away is that like, wow, did you see that rifle? It has to be something unusual that they grab onto that will like lead them to try to get that thing. So one example is like the hockey puck grenades or the guy's Austrian rifle, or something unusual in the movie that's like a concrete thing. And this movie does that.
Right.
And
I think that RoboCop did that with me. I always was fascinated by his weapons.
what's his pistol? Does he have is it a Desert Eagle?
He said, I remember him saying they actually had to get a license for it and ship it in. I think it was a Beretta, special custom made or something like that. And I just remember watching the movie going, what is the deal with this weapon, But anyway, when you said that, that's the first thing that popped in my mind for some reason.
Also, RoboCop's weapon, his pistol, like comes from like his thigh.
Right.
At one point, like where like a cowboy, playing a gunslinger. So what's Jason say? He says, speaking of Sam Hyde, what'd you say, Jason? Speaking of Sam Hyde, Sylvia had her 24th birthday day. Oh, have you guys been watching Fish Tank? I haven't really seen much of it, but I saw the clip where Sam walks in and he walks into the room and he goes, he's Judge, what's his name? Jedediah Goldstriker. So anyway, so then McClane straps all the plastic explosives onto the guy and then sends it down the elevator shaft, like all of it. And that part is very Big Nine-ish, right? Because the windows get blown out, the building is destroyed, but of course it's still standing. And of course, the stupid element, which is actually probably true to life, is where the cops on the outside are like, this guy he's not a good guy. He's causing all this destruction. It's like, no, he's the good guy who's communicating. This guy's killing the bad guys. What are you talking about? But of course, the douchebag chief, right? Oh, and then they dox the family.
Yeah.
Right. That reporter, that Ghostbusters reporter, the pencil neck guy. He's like, let's find out his name and where he lives. And remember, he threatens the housekeeper with like ice.
Yeah.
What a scumbag. Bring out the kids or we're going to deport. Like, so, but he gets his comeuppance because he gets punched by the wife at the end of the movie, which is very, very emasculating.
Isn't he he's in the bathroom the whole time, right? Or am I thinking of
Is that this one or that
might have been the second one?
Yeah, that's part confused. 2. Yeah, that's part 2. Yeah, why is he in that movie?
I was thinking the same thing because I was like,
why would he be in Die Hard Part 2? That's in Chicago. The fuck?
Yeah,
that's weird. That doesn't make sense.
And Robert Patrick's in it. I totally forgot he was in the second one. Shout out to T1000.
Are you telling me Bat Boy is real? Dude, when he liked that tweet, that was awesome, dude.
That was an incredibly awesome day for the chat. Bill and I, we love it when this stuff happens. We'll have to tell them the story now, I guess.
Yeah, that was a win. Yeah, basically, X-Files came on the Boomer TV, and it got to the season where Robert Patrick is in it. And it was the episode of you telling me Bat Boy is real. And I just tweeted at him, are you telling me Bat Boy is real? And he liked it. And that's basically the story.
Yeah, he saw it, and there was a like, and somehow we came across it, and we're like, "Oh, sweet!"
It seemed way more awesome at the time. I know that.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of like when we. Oh well, never mind. I was going to bring up something else, but never mind.
No, what was it?
Well, everybody knows how much we love Ewoks, and I had a troll account on Twitter, 3X, that was an Ewok thing.
Yub Nub Stubbs.
I think that was my handle or something.
Yeah, Stubbs
Something.
McPeshy. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That was one.
2 followers, me and like who's the wrestler that was following you? It was like Sting the wrestler or something, and me were the
Oh,
only followers.
and the other one, it happened overnight because I remember we both slept, and I saw it the next day. Was I made something with Rob Ager, and
Oh, yeah. He was like, any suggestions for future analysis? And you're like, yeah, fucking Ewoks.
yeah, so I took a shot of Ager. He's like sitting at his computer, and so of course I put Wicket in there, changed the background to a Return of the Jedi, and he's like, kind of next to. Anyway, so I forget what we said to him, but anyway, we tweeted it at him, and I'm thinking, he's not gonna. He'll probably just scroll right past. So anyway, you and I go to bed, I guess, next day. He responds to it, like, oh, this is a great idea.
Yeah, and he made like 7 Star Wars analysis videos after that. Oh, you remember the Luke Radowski?
Oh,
you remember that
Luke.
one?
Yeah, Luke.
Yeah, on Endor.
Yeah.
That one was good too.
Yeah, I don't know how we got. I made a thing here. That was like when he first moved up there, I guess, with Pim Tool, I suppose. He started doing his FIREARMS training or whatever.
Yeah. Oh no, he was in New Hampshire and he had that like summertime like survival camp.
Oh, that's right. That's
right.
Yeah.
And you made something about Endor.
Yeah, something ridiculous I always make. Yeah. And I never expect any of these people to see it or whatever. And I guess he liked it. I forget what it was. But
he loved that shit. He was like, I love Star Wars.
Right.
I wish I was on Endor.
Who ought to put Chewie in there and all the usual suspects, but
the good old days. All right, thanks for bearing with us here, chat. We're just riffing. We're just goofing.
We do a little tangentian.
We love our Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico. So let's see what else. Who was the wrestler? Who was a wrestler that followed us?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I have to think about that for.
Yeah, I forget who it was. But anyways, okay. So the plastic explosives go off. The building gets, it's a war zone outside. There's a bunch of people dead, and then eventually, so McClane also confronts Hans Gruber in person, who has a fake American accent, and cleverly, when he asks him his name, McClane looks up, and that name is on the little office like billboard thing. So Gruber was already a step ahead, which is a good little thing.
What was it? Clay something.
Clay Shaw.
Yeah, Clay Shaw.
You a good looking man, Mr. Garrison. Right. Kevin Bacon. It's Clay something, right? Bill Clay, that was the name. Bill Clay.
Bill Clay, yes.
You know how to use a gun? Oops, no bullets.
Mm-hmm.
But before he can kill Hans Gruber, of course, the blonde guys come up in the elevator and start blasting, so he has to run, and then the glass thing happens and all that, right? Well, then there's communication on the walkie-talkies, and then eventually, and they kill the scumbag guy who tries to muscle in and negotiate. Very Trump style, by the way, in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Very 80s. Hans, Bubby, right? They give him a Coke, like it's like a, here's your treasure, which is very weird in that scene. Product placement, I guess.
Yeah, product placement, I was going to say.
Also, because he was doing Coke earlier on the desk.
Right.
Right, with his watch, his fancy watch. And even the watch plays an important role. Do you remember that?
I do, but I'm trying to remember the details.
So the guy brings up the fancy watch gift, and then at the end of the film, spoiler, who hasn't seen this? When Gruber is hanging out the window, like he's holding him by the hand, and the watch, like he undoes the watch.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
correct.
Okay. So Anyway, long story long. What happens in the end is he's got 2 bullets left. He's got his pistol. He uses Christmas gift wrap tape to tape it to his back. He confronts Gruber and Bonnie in that office because Gruber, by the way, he finds out who McClane is, and then he finds the connection because he learns that Bonnie's real last name is McClane, and the picture that was turned face down on the desk. He quickly picks it up and he sees the family picture. So he's got a useful person here. And he's like, they're on the top floor or whatever. And McClane says his bit, and then he shoots the one bad guy. And then Gruber, he even blows like the smoke out like a cowboy, right? Which is a very cool scene.
Mm-hmm.
Gruber is going towards the window. He's falling out. The watch undoes. And then he has the best death scene. Like, it's a very, very well done death scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's poetic because the whole movie's been fast at this point, and now it goes into slow motion. There's only one slow motion scene in the whole movie.
Yeah, interesting to say that.
Which is crazy because all these action movies later, it's just all, they just overuse the things that, they're easy. And in this, they slow it down and we see him, full face falling. And then it cuts to the cops looking and you see a body fall, Big 9 style, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
by the way, I I know that you know this, but apparently they did not tell Mr. Rickman that they were going to drop him at that certain time. So I would imagine that might be why they slowed it down that much. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, he was like, look, I trained at RADA. I don't do movies. Yeah. So also, by the way, I mentioned this earlier, but like that's one element that adds to the fullness of the movie, like this gravitas in the movie, because Rickman, we don't need to know this, but Rickman is a classically trained stage Shakespearean actor. And what that does for the movie is that his character is, it's a fully developed, very charismatic, villain character. He's very, very good. And he's totally unique. Nobody else could do this. It is the defining thing in his career, which probably pissed him off because he was, in England, he was, everybody would talk about him as being, he had done this very famous Hamlet. And then of course he was the bad guy in Prince of Thieves. Right?
Yes, totally.
I'm going to tear his heart out with a spoon.
Why, master? Because it's Dawn, you idiot.
Yeah, he's great in that too, man. He's awesome in that movie.
Totally. I know that JD was bashing Prince of Thieves in one stream, but BLA and I love Prince of Thieves for several reasons.
Like that movie a lot. Yeah, I do like it. Yeah.
I mean, Michael Kamen's score, just for one. And yes, the ending has Bryan Adams, right? But
look into my eyes, and you will see what you mean to me. That video played so many times on MTV. You remember that?
No, I do vaguely. Yeah, I was a wee lad, but I remember.
Well, I thought it was a cool movie because of the arrow. Like the arrow splitting the other arrow. I thought that was super cool at the time.
Well, it had lots of nice little tricks in it, like the beginning where he's going to put his hand out to get it chopped off, and he yanks it. I love that scene. I was like, that was awesome. And then, of course, Morgan Freeman coming in and throwing that huge ass, whatever it is.
Scimitar, yeah. Hell yeah.
And just great. Boom. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, sorry to get off on that, but we love Prince of Thieves, so.
Beer, and they gave us beer. Friar Tuck is awesome in that. Christian Slater's in that movie.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Good old Mr. Robot himself. Oh, spoiler. Yeah. Sorry.
He plays like a pissed off, like 90s angsty. Mm-hmm. He's pissed off for no reason in the movie. But yeah, it was cool. I really wanted to see that when it came out, and I went to this dude's birthday party, my friend, and we were going to the movies, and I was like, yes, we're going to go see this movie. And we went to Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead instead. What the fuck?
Oh man.
But
Hmm.
that's also a good movie. But still,
Yeah.
um, they've made like 100 Robin Hood movies.
Yeah. I didn't even watch the Russell Crowe. I
Oh,
know
you
that.
haven't seen that?
Well, I don't think I have. No, but
It's Ridley Scott.
yeah, I remember it was Ridley, but he doesn't seem to be having a good batting average lately. Is that
Right.
correct, Bill?
Well, the thing is, because I remember when I did that stream and somebody put in the comments, he needs to retire, and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, he's like 90 something, but he's got a good. I mean, like, look at his body of work. It's fucking. He's got a great body of work. He's got
Mm-hmm.
awesome movies, but it's just. I hope he does one more so that he doesn't have to end with Napoleon, which is just shit. So bad.
I didn't want to go there,
That's
but
the AI thing. That's the element. That's probably one of the corrosive elements in the movie. It's so inhuman. The movie is just so like nothing.
you mean like a Chat GPT or something made the entire movie
Yeah.
too?
Well,
Or,
that like the wording and the dialogue and it's so it's like it was pulled from a search engine or something and just thrown up. There's nothing like it's all wrong also about I won't go over the whole thing again, but the one thing that bothers me the most about it is that he's eating in every scene.
mm,
And
interesting.
Napoleon famously like hated the fact that he had to eat it all.
Hmm.
It was a waste of time to him. He would eat any meal in 5 minutes because he was he was just, a soldier.
Right. No, it
So
makes
that
sense.
element alone is like, what are you doing? Did you even like, what is this? Um, but no, that Robin Hood movie with Russell Crowe. It's not bad, but it's whatever. Um,
Well, you
what's her
know,
name is too old for it. What's that lady? Kate Blanchett. She's in it. She's too old
oh,
for the role.
what is it with Kate Blanchett? I don't know.
What is it with her, dude? I mean, is she a witch? What's up with her?
I think so. I remember watching which Thor movie is she in where she's the bad sister or whatever it is.
Mm,
I was like, this is the only one where I think she's hot. Everything else is
yeah.
I don't know, something weird about
Okay.
it.
Here's my take. I thought the one movie she was hot in was The Life Aquatic.
Oh, interesting.
Remember, she plays she's a pregnant like reporter. Her name's Cubby.
Mm-hmm.
She was very pretty and normal in that movie. Very
That's what it is.
delicate.
Yeah, she's not delicate. I think. Yeah, she goes
Hell
for
no.
abnormal most of the time.
Yeah, she goes for like, my name is Tar.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Oh, there's one movie she's really good in. I bet nobody has seen this movie. It's called Veronica Guerin, and it's about a reporter in Northern Ireland who was writing about the troubles and the uh, heroin trade that was funding the groups, and she got assassinated. And it's a very well done movie.
Hmm.
I'm partial to the place, but is Colin Farrell in that movie? He has like a cameo in the movie.
Convert.
Yeah, I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, he's interesting actor.
He's friends with one of my buddies from when I went to school there. Rory, shouts out to Rory. He trained at this place called the Gaiety Theater. Fake and great name, but that's the name of the theater in Dublin where he trained. But Colin Farrell is one of the guys. He got his first film role in Tigerland, which was a
Right.
Joel Schumacher movie and produced
Mm-hmm.
by Spacey. So
Mm-hmm.
he was offered that thing that, remember I told you they offered my Irish friend Angus that thing. Spacey gave him
Right.
that offer, and he said, "Fuck
Mm-hmm.
off, Poofty,"
Mm-hmm.
and he never worked. But Colin Farrell took that. So
I wonder if Spacey offered him that role in character as Frank Underwood, like he did with Tucker.
what is the fucking deal with that? Can
I,
somebody in chat, can you explain to me what that was?
yes, please do.
The Tucker Spacey thing? I
Well,
don't understand.
Took of the American people. And that's the thing that pisses me off about, well, amongst the other things about him, but he just recycles the same accent when he's playing a Southerner.
Oh yeah.
And that area is not extremely far away from me. And down on the coast, of course, yeah, you got your savannas and all that. Yeah, they sound like that. But up here, no, they don't sound like that.
Well,
So,
is he doing kind of a parody of I'm Lindsey Graham?
I didn't think of I didn't think of that, but that's probably what he's doing.
Remember that scene? I think it was the second season where he was like, "We're gonna have a get together at the good old Citadel, the Citadel Military School. Oh, all you handsome mans. Oh,
yeah, I remember them going to Citadel. That's right. Boy, I hadn't thought of that show in a while now.
That was a good. The first, I mean, those 2 seasons it was good. House of Cards season 1 and 2 are Shakespearean in their scope and writing. They're very well done.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, like the thing about him, like remember he pushed that woman in front of the train.
Yeah, Mara.
Yeah. That was shocking, dude.
Yeah, that was an interesting scene.
But apparently, allegedly, that's just him in real life.
Allegedly. Yep, allegedly. Put an asterisk up. Well, and of course
I did predict that he would have a comeback a week before he was on Tucker. It was just to a friend on the phone, but
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know.
And obviously, I know he's parroting somewhat his good buddy Slick Willie too. So I'm guessing that's mostly what he's trying to do. But
how dare you?
How dare you? It depends.
I feel your pain.
Yeah, that's his best one. I think have I told everybody that I shook Slick Willie's hand when,
really?
I thought I told you about it. Probably didn't, but anyway, yeah, Hillary was in 08 run, I guess.
Oh, you mean Hillary Crimeton trademark?
Correct. Yes. Trademarked and everything. But anyway, she was coming through, and they were late because guess what? A ball game was on. They were coming out of the back where we were, and Slick Willie kind of. I tell you what, and BLA probably knows what I'm talking about from his training, but I think obviously I was the one in the crowd that was watching him with a very skeptical face, and I've heard that about him, and probably people that are very good at public speaking, which I'm not. Is that he looks for the people in the crowd. He's looking at people to focus his attention to.
I feel your pain.
And he will try. Yeah, totally. And it's like he tries to get his aura to win you over in some way. And I saw him looking at me, and he could tell like I'm giving him some kind of, I know what you are kind of stare,
Anyway, size you up. We're the same person. We're going through the same pain.
Yeah, exactly. He came out. He's like, "We were watching the ball game in the back. I apologize." Giving his usual spiel.
Razorbacks.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, they get done and everybody just starts rushing out, and I'm like, "Dude, even if I don't like this guy, he's a former president, So I was like, "What the hell? I'm going up there and gonna shake his hand."
Right.
Not joking, his hand. And I realize I'm not trying to go David Icke or anything, but I know he had heart trouble for a long time and all that stuff, but his hand that's the coldest hand I've ever
really
in my life. Yes.
Weird.
It's like a dead person's hand when he reached over and grabbed my hand.
Dude.
And no nerves at all or anything. You just tell he was just another gig,
A cold hand. What the fuck, dude? That's crazy.
He just reached out and grabbed it, It's like, what in the... I was like, it freaked me out. I'm not going to lie.
That's weird. And then I looked and Heath turned into a reptile and it grew by 7 feet and turned into a reptile.
And
that's cool. That's a good story, dude. No, you hadn't told me that one before.
Yeah, it was freaky. Like, I'm serious, isn't it? I mean, seriously, I was thinking some Mike vibes were like, this dude is not human or something.
My hand was cold because I had it in the ice because it's when I when I find my lady, it gives me more sensation.
Right.
Um, I saw him a bunch of times in Belfast. He was there all the time because of
Really?
yeah, because of the Good Friday Agreement and the peace
Oh, yeah, yeah.
process.
Okay.
But it was weird because it would be ran. We wouldn't know about it, and they'd have the main building that you got to walk through like roped off, and it was crazy because like when a president shows up in America, anywhere, they shut the whole city down. But because he
Right.
wasn't a sitting president, and it was this, one time it was him, Blair, and Prince Charles all together.
Wow.
And they did all this stuff at university, but it was like there was 20 feet between us, and you looked, and it was like, oh, that's Bill Clinton. It's like you pick him out of a crowd, very, it was just so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Hillary Clinton is the chancellor now of my university. They love him there, though, dude. I mean, because his family was from Fermanagh, from Enniskillen in Northern Ireland, and
Mm.
I told you that story about when he uh, took the trip, and they went into the pub, and the entire staff or whatever ate, and then when they left, the owner of the pub was like, "Who's gonna pay the bill?" Like nobody paid for it. Stiffed him.
Oh my goodness. Well, that would just back up all those stories about. Didn't they run a lot of those when Hillary was running this last time?
Yeah,
Oh, she stiffs everybody, and it's like,
yeah,
well, I would imagine they all do. I mean,
yeah. Um, but I had the same thing with Prince Charles. He came up to the rope and shook his hand, and
nice.
that was crazy because it was the same thing. It was like all these people, and when he came up, when he talked to people, he had that thing where it's like you're the only person in the world.
Mm.
And like, I mean, I got like he looked very regal. He had this pinstripe suit, and he was very tall and all this stuff. It was just like a couple of seconds or whatever. And he talked to this girl next to me for a little while. But and then there was a time I was walking through there at night with my buddy, and this guy, there was a security guard. He was like, "Can't walk through here, fellas." We're like, "Why not?" And he's like, "Queen's right there. Queen's right there in the window." And we looked in the window. Queen Elizabeth was right there for a party
Wow.
for the premiere of the what is it? The C.S. Lewis movie, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing is when Tony Blair left that day, it was crazy because he was in one car, it was like a Jaguar or something, and then there was one escorting car. That was it. And when they took off, they drove so fast, like so fucking fast. And you hear that kind of thing, but it's like you are in Belfast. I mean, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Is Crispy in chat since we're talking about?
Right, where's Crispy? Oh, and the other guy was that guy George Mitchell. He's the one who authored the Good Friday Agreement, the senator.
Yeah.
And he, by the way, was a major attendant on the flight logs.
Mm-hmm. Imagine that. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna end this 30-year terrorist war, and then we're gonna go to a nice island.
All right.
Fucking scum.
Mm.
Anyway, okay, sorry, folks. Hey, shouts out to chat. We're just we're new bit goofing in here.
Apologies to the affiliates.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not the crew's fault.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. We're all dead.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I got to just play the clip because I played it so many times when I was down there that my family was not happy about it. Let me find the clip real quick. Come on. Where are you?
Dr. Crispy, are you in the chat?
Crispy thinks that hold on, here's the clip. Hold on, here we go. Are y'all ready? All right, here we go.
We'll all be getting cancer soon. We'll all be sterile soon. It's
Hold on, you got to listen to the beginning because he fires right into it. Here we go. All right, here we go.
They're gonna kill you and your family. And most of us are already dead. We'll all be cancer soon. We'll all be sterile soon. It's over.
It's over.
I love when he's he'll get done
In that mode. Yeah.
Totally. It's just like everything's over. Just don't even forget. And then the next hour, we'll have a guest come on. They say something. Well, there's a lot of hope left. Yeah, there's a lot of hope. I agree with that. It's like he flips everything around.
He's got his way with words. He's got a great cadence, and he's got like this. He's got this amazing word choice because it's always surprising, like how he throws words into regular sentences.
What's the one you always bring up with him saying?
In the common parlance.
Parlance, yeah.
Yeah.
In the common parlance.
Burmas. I wish I could. I don't know what I did with that clip, but it was my favorite one of all time because he had the Joker makeup on and he's holding a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, Burmas. Do y'all know what we're talking about in chat? Do you know what we're talking about? We're talking about AJ.
Oh, yeah. I know they know what you're talking about.
They know what we're talking about.
They know what we're talking about.
We're doing a little new boot goof in here, you guys.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys, but, you know, around here in the office, when somebody has to go, they say they got to go take a Queen Elizabeth II.
You got to play that clip if you got a handy one.
In the best, probably the best clip of all time, like a genuine clip, is the clip of when he was protesting the guys who wear the robes and the tall things on their head. Remember when they were doing like marches and stuff at like the city hall somewhere in Texas, and AJ shows up, and his like protest tactic is is such an awesome clip. It's so good. He is totally going off on these guys. If you guys have seen that, if you know what I'm talking about, it's in the archives, in the old clips there. But anyway, so
I like the. Sorry, just popped in my head.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there are lots of them. I remember watching live when they had BUILDA.
Yeah, Bill Berg, the Bill Berg Group. I was in the class and I asked the teacher, well, what do you think about the Bill Berg?
Oh my goodness, that one got me too. It's just the way he does it. He's reading it off the screen. It's like, oh my gosh. But they were in Chantilly that year, so this must have been like 2011 or something. But of course, they're watching all the cars come in, and you probably know the hotel. I can't think of the hotel they were at, but anyway, it's like 2 or 3 people showed up with the same megaphone, and they combined them all and let him yell through it and they said the windows were shaking. They were that close when they combined them all, and he was that loud. I don't know how loud it was, but it was hilarious. I saw Henry Kissinger. He was staring at me. He was giving me dirty looks or something. I was like, oh, I bet he was.
The weirdest part is that they were in Chantilly, Virginia. What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know.
Why?
Somebody explain that to us.
Of all places, I mean, is it because what's around Chantilly? Like Mount Weather? Something's around there. Some base around there.
Probably some dumb DUMB or something.
Stay clean. We love you. And everybody else out there, stay clean. Don't use drugs. Infowars.com.
That's when he was on The View.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my goodness.
This attack is thousands and thousands and thousands of times the magnitude of all previous attacks. This is a titrated dose, reverse psychological warfare operation using adapt and overcome subversion.
Holy shit, that's a lot of words, dude.
That entire one. Oh, my goodness. I remember they put that together. It's like 5 minutes, you know.
Do you remember? All right, shut that pig up.
You're right.
Shut that pig. Hey, listen, you globalist pig. I've got the one where he does the Dune. He had just seen Dune, obviously, and he's got 2 guests, And they come back from commercial, and he goes, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Jeez, who was in there? Yeah, I remember. Somebody was in there.
In the common part, hold on, is this it?
I was a teenager by that. Said, if you turn evil, I'm going to kill you. And I knew he was serious about it. And I almost did turn evil. So, and I'm not saying we should kill
Oh my god. Oh wait, hold on, you'll like this one. Hold on.
Ever seen a Cellini? My name's Glenn Beck.
Oh. Hey, oh, there you go. Dono, right in there. Hold on. Let me read this one. My name's Glenn Beck. Mersh and Royce just did a thing on Glenn Beck's like Museum of Horrors. Have you seen that?
What?
He like collects. He collects like artifacts of the horrific regimes. Like,
oh my goodness!
This is Idi Amin's tooth. Shouts out to Ethan out there. Thank you so much, buddy. That's $4 for War. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Appreciate that, buddy. Yep. Technotronic War. Michael Aquino. Shouts out to Randy again there. Okay, so by the way, that's not the end of Die Hard, because remember what happens. They think it's over. McClane goes down. He's reunited with his wife. They put the weird little blanket over his shoulders. He's the hero. The wife punches out the pencil neck dickhead reporter. And then remember that Carl Winslow had explained that his problem was that when he was, I guess, a rookie, right, he had eliminated a suspect that was not of age. And that he said they'd teach you a lot of things in the academy, but they never teach you how to deal with the guilt. It was something like that, right? So he's haunted by, this time he had to draw his weapon and he shot this kid. Well, he redeems himself, I guess, at the end of the movie, because out comes a Swedish, Austrian, East German, blonde-haired tourist guy that McClane had hanged, right, in chains in that fight. So he got out of that and he reappears. He was in disguise. He reappears with his rifle and he's about to start blasting, and then bang, right? Kind of a Deus Ex Machina here, but not really. I guess it's just a redemption arc for Carl Winslow, who pulls his like 44 Magnum and blasts this guy, right? And so he saves John McClane, who, by the way, had jumped on top of his wife to cover her, to shield her. And then they're buddies for life. They are bound together with this event. And the movie ends with an upshot of the disaster around the building and Christmas music.
Yeah.
So
all the naysayers,
Yeah, what's your take about the Die Hard Christmas movie big debate?
Well, what you just mentioned, I would argue is reason enough. There are certainly a lot of allusions to it, but to me, I would say, what are you trying to say? Is it center around Christmas? Is it a Christmas story? Is it Christmas in the background? I would consider this Christmas is in the background. It's around Christmas time. And in the second one, it is explicitly Christmas time.
Right.
So why would they do that in the second one if it had nothing to do with it in the first one? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the third one, there is no, they go the 180 and don't do Christmas time because they're like, we've already done 2 Christmas movies.
Zeus, like I put a thunderbolt up your ass like Zeus.
I was by the way, this just popped in my head too. Does anybody know how many movies that, since we were talking about the third one, Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson are in together? I think BLA probably knows.
Good question. Okay. All right. Hold on. Pulp Fiction. Right. Butch. I mean, our names don't mean shit, honey. I'm American. So Pulp Fiction, Die Hard 3. Let's see. What else?
There's 2 big ones for sure.
There's a military one. not Hearts War. It's fuck.
Yeah, it's I know the one you're talking about. I didn't look this up beforehand. I just thought I'd bring it up, then we can do it together. Everybody in the chat probably knows all of them. Wasn't it something of the sun or something or another?
Tears of the Sun.
Tears of the Sun.
Sam Jackson's in that.
I'm not sure.
Well, that's the one where Bruce Willis plays a SEAL.
Right.
Right, he's a Navy SEAL, and
The Navy SEAL from Laos.
Monica Bellucci is running an NGO or whatever that gets kidnapped by some Colombians or something. Proof of life. We need proof of life.
Mm-hmm.
Proof of life. I'm Russell Crowe's in Proof of Life. I say that term like 4 million times in the movie. Proof of life. Proof of life. Meg Ryan. Proof of life.
And the two big ones, I know people in the chat are probably typing them like crazy. Both M. Night Shyamalan's.
Oh, holy shit! Yes,
right.
Dude, good call. Damn, nice catch. Okay, all right.
Glass. What did you think of?
And,
yeah, what did you think of Glass?
Unbreakable. I thought that it was. I thought it was a noble effort. I mean, Shyamalama Ding Dong certainly. He sort of came back with that one, with that end of the trilogy. Right. I thought that Split was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. Unbreakable is also very, very solid.
Yeah, I remember at the time everybody was saying unwakeable, so boring, whatever. And I remember at the time I was like, yeah, it is kind of bad. And then I watched it again recently, like you're saying, and I'm like, wow, this is it's a profound movie with, it's supposed to be profound in a way with not yeah, like you're saying.
It's cool because it's a superhero movie that like is not a you don't know that.
Right. Yeah.
Which is, kind of from what came after it, right? Fucking that's gone now, hopefully. That period is over, I think. It's got to be, right? Isn't that dead? Is the Marvel thing dead now?
Well, I think it is, but on the back side of it now is they're trying to revive all the DC stuff, I think.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
And they've never been able to do that, so I don't think they're going to be successful. Still going for it. We just had, Aquaman, and nobody's talking about that. Their latest one. It's like I've seen like 2 ads, and I haven't heard anybody say it.
Okay, here's the problem with the DC movies, in my opinion, is that the film stock, the look of the movie that they chose for all the DC movies is like, it's too dark. It's too like, there's like a rust to it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It's like a weird palette that they chose. And I guess they did that because, Superman is conflicted. Right.
Yeah, very Zack Snyder. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. But obviously the problem is that he's not, right? That's why but I guess that can't really exist in the postmodern world. You can't have a superhero that's just good. I always hated Superman. I always thought I never liked Superman. Lame.
Yeah, I agree. I do appreciate Christopher Reeve ones to a point, but I've always been more Batman than
kneel before Zod.
No, yeah. Then you got Brando wandering around with, one of those clips where he kept, showing back and forth when he's been interviewed.
My name is Zor-El. I'm the father of Superman. He was born on the planet Krypton. I'm being paid $1 million for this. So that was good for him. I always liked Punisher when I was a kid. I collected Punisher comic books. I thought Punisher was fucking badass, dude. But they can't really get that right for the movies for some reason.
I didn't watch too much. Did you watch the what's his name? Bernthal?
I tried to, but I just couldn't even get through like the first 30 minutes of the first episode. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just like, okay, it's over. But remember the Thomas Jane?
Yeah, absolutely.
Punisher?
Absolutely.
With Travolta.
Yeah.
That's right. And there was a Punisher with Ray Stevenson. He played, and he also went to my drama school. R.I.P. He died recently.
Right, yeah. R.I.P. And going back to the 80s, one other one, Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren. Yeah,
Yes.
Louis Gossett Jr. Hell yeah, dude. I've got the comic from the movie.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Have you seen? You remember Masters of the Universe, the film
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
with Frank Langella as Skeletor?
Yeah, Frank Langella.
That movie's funny because the movie revolves around the talisman in the movie is a synthesizer.
Mm.
Like that's the weapon that they're after.
Yeah, interesting.
And Courtney Cox is in it.
Yeah.
Weird. So what else? Okay, so Christmas elements of Die Hard. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it takes place at Christmas. He's going there for Christmas. It's a Christmas party. There's Christmas music. It ends with Christmas music. There's the ho ho ho. It's all throughout the movie.
Yep.
But I guess the question is, are those superficial elements just for like a place for the movie to take place? Right. And also because it reflects reality. It's a Christmas blockbuster. But I would say that depends on what you mean by Christmas movie. It's like, okay, it's a violent, bloody action movie, but the redemptive elements in the movie are good. There's goodness in the movie because McClane is a archetypal hero. He's got problems, but he's not, he's not an anti-hero. He's just a Joe Sixpack, right? And he overcomes incredible odds. He goes through a hero's journey. He, finds love at the end of the movie. He's reunited with his wife, Bonnie Gennaro. Right. They get rid of all the bad guys. They get rid of all the Grinches. There's only one scene, I think, with kids in the movie, and they're safe at home or whatever until they get doxxed, of course. But McClane is there so he can see his wife and be with his kids, right? Which, Christmas, unites families. It's a Christmas Carol sort of element.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Why does he fly over to? Oh, it's because it's Christmas time.
Right. Yeah. He's in. Yeah. So his plane is the sleigh. Or sleigh. Also, the name of the plane is Rudolph Airlines. No, I just made that up. That's not true. I just made that up. Remember how they used to use Oceania Airlines, like in all the movies?
Yeah. Interesting.
Loss, executive decision.
You did executive decision recently, right?
That's right. Steven Seagal stream.
Yeah, Seagal.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. I remember seeing that. It's Leguizamo, Steven Seagal, Kurt Russell.
What's the name from Terminator 2? Right?
Bob?
the scientist. What's his name?
Yeah.
The guy who's
right? Yeah, what's his name? Dykstra?
What's his name? Dyson.
Dyson.
Miles Dyson?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Terminator 2 is, look, who wants to fight? Terminator 2 is better than Terminator. It just is. Who's going to take me on?
Oh, somebody's going to call it
now. We did Terminator 2 on DPH. On DPH's channel.
Right.
Yeah, that's because when they filmed the Roadhouse scene in the movie, the Rodney King event was happening that night on the other side of the highway.
Wild.
And wild. The movie, Robert Patrick, remember, he's the villain and he's a cop. LAPD. Crazy, dude.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah. I need you to close your boots on your motorcycle.
Inside, please.
That movie was just badass because he had that dirt bike, and the salute your shorts guy was his best friend, and You Could Be Mine was the song, and the music video Guns N' Roses was like in the. Remember Arnie, like the eye scans Axel at the end of the video, and it's like wait, it says like waste of life or waste of ammo or something at the end.
Your false parents are dead.
Did you remember the GNR Metallica tour? 90 was that 91?
Oh yeah. Oh, well, I didn't go to it, but yes, I certainly yes, I know about it for sure.
Yeah, they would alternate who opened or whatever. I knew one dude that went to that.
Was that was the tour that Hetfield got lit up, right? Or was that later?
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, Hetfield got set on fire with the
Michael
pyro.
Jackson stuff. Oh damn.
Oh, totally. I think he got it worse than Michael Jackson for sure.
Oh, really? He did?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it was a GNR tour. People in the chat know; they can correct me. But he stepped in the wrong place at the wrong time during Fade to Black, I believe, and got lit up. And
I guess you could say he was riding the lightning.
he certainly wrote.
Well, that's weird because like he doesn't have any visible, scars from it that I've.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much. I remember they talked about it quite a bit on the. Does anybody remember VH1 Behind the Music? There's a reference. And yeah, they had to throw him in an ambulance, cut off his rings, and all kinds of shit. And they stopped the car. And this is the kicker: is supposedly that GNR were going on second, I guess, and Axl refused to come out and do the show. This is when this was in Montreal.
Oh, the riots.
Yep, you got it.
Hell yeah.
They tore the place up because he wouldn't come out.
I mean, they tore the shit out of that stadium, dude. Remember Axl was like wearing that fur coat and like jumped into the crowd and beat that guy up?
Yeah. Gersh was probably there, I'm sure.
When I look into your eyes, I can see your love restrained.
That's the only GNR song I will listen to nowadays. I don't know what it is about that. Well, okay, there's a few more, but all the big ones, I'm just so sick of them. I just can't.
Yeah, I like for me, the acoustic side of Lies never gets old. Probably because it's so short, but it never gets old. But that video gave us Shannon Hoon. Remember, he was a backup singer in that video. Was that
Shannon?
Don't Cry? Yeah, for Blind Melon.
Yeah, goodness, interesting.
R.I.P. Another OD'd rock star.
Yeah,
he was cool. I liked him.
I just like his the Woodstock '94 footage. You can just tell, man, he just is not. It's like, oh, this poor guy.
That's when he was wearing that like sundress.
Yeah, he was wearing a blanket.
Dude, that guy was so high on heroin and crack.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, poor fella. But that Blind Melon album, like, is one of those '90s albums that it's very '90s, but it's a solid. It's a weird like because it's like sort of jam band type stuff, but it's sort of hard to find. I don't know. It's I like them so.
No Rain's like kind of obviously that's the big one. Then you listen to other stuff. It's different.
Tones of Home. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Tones of Home. Oh, you don't like the way I'm living.
I have a karaoke stream here the next time.
Yeah. No Rain. The video is like that's another programming video. It's very totally. Weird. Totally. That little B girl. That poor B girl, dude. She's in that video. And it probably took her 20 years to live down the being the B girl.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No one knows what it is now, but
I saw that they caught up with. This has been a few years ago now, but they did. I don't know the guitar player's name, but eventually it kind of shocked me because I figured he would still be getting the residuals certainly off of that album. But he's like, "Yeah, I'm a CPA now, and." Yeah, I don't really do any guitar playing.
Really?
Like, yeah, I was shocked. Like, dang, really, dude?
That's like Jimmy Chamberlain for Smashing Pumpkins being the corporate. What's that company? They made him the CEO of like some corporation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is wild because Jimmy Chamberlain was like in Anthony Kiedis's book Scar Tissue, which I highly recommend, by the way. It's one of the best books I've ever read. It's very good. And Kiedis was like, when they toured, it was Nirvana, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Smashing Pumpkins. And he said, like, you know, the bands have to like hang out and stuff like that. But he got along so well with Jimmy Chamberlain because, first of all, they were both heroin addicts.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
second of all, Jimmy Chamberlain was from some like Polish, you know, Chicago, like, you know, working class family. He was like a normal dude. And it's weird because remember they replaced him briefly in like 2000, and then he survived, and now I guess he's a regular guy, successful.
Yes,
Good
he's
for
back
him.
at it.
Yeah.
And the funny part, of course, in all of it is you kind of pay attention to Billy Corgan over the years. I just find it funny that forever he's like, well, because somebody asked him, why don't you perform the songs the way they were recorded? And that question would come up quite a bit. He's like, well, you know, he's just trying to be like, I'm the true artist. I'll play them how I want to play them, and da-da-da. And if I want to play them like that, I will. And I'll probably never do that, you know. And then all of a sudden, fast forward, it's like Chamberlain's back in there doing basically, you know, playing the hits tours the past 2 or 3, and they are playing them exactly like they recorded them.
Yeah. Didn't he just play at the Christmas parade, like the Disney Christmas parade float?
Yeah. He was there.
That's wild, dude.
So I'm like, I don't know. And of course, he was a regular on Lord Voldemort.
That's right.
There for a while. So, but you notice he's always got this symbolism, particularly in the latest album. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but and his stage presence, he certainly has a lot of symbolism going on there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is he trolling? Is he not? Is he da-da-da? I don't know.
Remember when he was like, AJ was like, so what do you like? And he was like, I love wrestling. I invested in
he owns
wrestling investor.
Yeah, he owns NWA, which was defunct for a long time, and he brought it back. Which is, I remember when he would show up to, he showed up to some ECW events or something like way back, and I was like, Billy Corgan.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, he's bought this out, and it's like, well, he's an interesting character, that's for sure.
Well, Siamese Dream fucking rules. To me, it's a perfect. It's a perfect album. It's so good, and I do like how. Have you seen that documentary about it they made at the time about the recording?
It seemed like I've seen bits and pieces, but
I had a VHS copy. I forget what it's called, but they would record, and then he'd be like, "All right, James Eha and Darcy, y'all just go on. I'll be there in a little bit. Y'all go on ahead." And then he would just re-record all the parts himself, which to me, it's like, fine, fuck him. Like, you're the guy, and it sounds awesome. So, you know, who gives a shit, I guess. But when I had a band in 8th grade, we played that song Disarm. That was one of our songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I had and now I had no idea what the song was about at the time. I never really, you know. But now I'm like, oh damn, dude, this song's about Billy Corgan being creeped on. It's terrible.
Yeah, he has some interesting stories about his dad. You probably seen the clips I'm kind of alluding to, but there was a recent one I saw. I don't know if it was in the past year or two or older, but he was on Stern, and he's like, yeah, my dad basically didn't pay attention to me growing up at all and kicked me to the side and stole some of my stuff, or I forget what exactly, but eventually, later on in life, he said he won the lottery or something and would not give him any kind of money. He's just like, oh, you're rich enough now, son, or something, and
Damn.
stole money from him back then and didn't pay him back after he won the lottery. And that's something.
Once there was this girl who got into an accident.
Couldn't go to school. Gersh can sing it.
My favorite song is Mayonnaise, Smashing Pumpkins' Mayonnaise. Great song. But that was a Jeopardy question. Did you see that?
Recently?
Yeah.
Oh, for real? Oh.
Yeah. It said mayonnaise by it was like something ing pumpkins, and the lady was like dunkling pumpkins.
Oh,
She gave some dumbass answer.
Oh man, must have been a boomer,
But
huh? The BO
yeah,
in
because
there.
when shit shows up on Jeopardy, that makes it real. Remember those days? I just remember when they did the question, that fucking boring question and answer things, part of the middle. And I remember Alex, like, asking the girl whatever, and she said, "I like to go to Ren fairs," and and Alex goes, "Oh, so you're a nerd?"
Yeah.
That was awesome. I like Trebek. Poor Trebek. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Trebek. That
Yep.
show's dead.
Yep.
All right, what else we got here, buddy? Let's see. We done with Die Hard? We talked about Die Hard for like 15 minutes of this 4-hour stream.
I know. That's what
Which is fine. That's fine.
I was a little worried about that part. I'm like, well, I better shut up because I'm going to hear this.
I mean, honestly, because we were like, what are we going to talk about? Who cares? And then at the last minute, I was like, I guess Die Hard's a good topic.
Yeah, I think I don't want to get into it. I might do it separate, or maybe we can do a separate one because I know you already covered it and probably don't want to talk about it. But there are some interesting things I was going to say about Leave the World Behind.
Yes. Oh, speaking of which, let me chill for a second. If you want to see a concise Leave the World Behind analysis, grab a membership because it's for members only. And I did that the night of that the movie came out. So, Jethro, give us your high IQ expert take on Leave the World Behind, please.
Well, the interesting part is one of the things I was going to bring up is I actually watched it, and then a lot of times, kind of late at night, I get out to go out and walk, get a little exercise in.
Get the bears out of the trees.
Totally. I'm like, shoo. But anyway. And I happened to watch the movie, and it was either that night or the next night. I'm out walking around in the hood, and boof, after about 30, 40 minutes, boof, the entire electricity in the neighborhood goes off.
Really?
Just in a snap.
Cyber polygon.
Yeah. So I'm in the middle of I still had about half an hour left of my usual routine. So I'm just like, okay, I'll go around and see if anybody has power in here. Maybe it's just one section of the, subdivision or whatever. So everybody is out. And a lot of people are getting out to get in their cars I'm assuming to charge their phones or whatever, which I thought was funny because I just see one after another, and I can see the lights on in their cars. I was like, yeah, well, I'm getting an idea of first thing I would do if this was a permanent situation for a while. But so anyway, find out that it was some kind of accident nearby.
A drunk driver driving into the transformer station or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. So I just said, I'm going to make a little mental note. And I think it was either the same night or night after is when New York had that big outage. Remember that?
Yeah.
So I just thought, interesting. I make little mental notes, and try to remember when things happen just in case later on.
Right.
Other things kind of happen. You know how we do. BLA and I were kind of schizophrenic like that. We're trying to remember all the stuff, making connections. And of course, what you just said, CYBER.
Carl Schwab. Yeah.
Carl Schwab.
Yeah, Chad, if you didn't know this, AJ always refers to that guy as Carl Schwab, which is great.
That's the best thing he does, man. I love it when he gets names wrong and stuff. That makes me laugh
you had
so
his
hard.
book. Remember, you sent me a picture of one of the pages in the book, and he wrote that in the book. Carl
That's
Schwab.
right. Yeah, Carl Schwab's in the book. Oh man, I forgot about that. That's right. That's awesome.
Awesome. It's even better. It's not just spoken, like that's in print.
Yeah, that really that was icing on the cake there. I'm like, how did they miss this? technically not a misspelling, or whatever.
But your point though, I mean, we've all experienced the power outage, and it's amazing how these things happen. But every time it happens, you instantly, for me, the first thing I think is, oh fuck,
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come back on, but you go, oh shit, because like if you've ever been through a power outage that's like multiple days or a week,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, dude, this is so bad.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it's amazing our reliance on all that.
I thought, well, getting back to the movie, I think that's the most interesting part about it is you can say, yes, it's full of this and that, but I think the fundamental questions are what really kind of, it's like, well, how would I treat my neighbors? I think I like them pretty well, but
Good point.
and what would be the first thing? Would I go out and charge my phone or try? I just thought interesting things like that were really, but I don't know. It's probably too late in the stream to kind of dive into another.
No,
movie,
that's a good point, because it's actually kind of overlooked in terms of the meaning of the film, because all the you're looking for the other things that become more obvious in the movie, but the relationships like with the neighbors is a good point. I mean, that's fleshed out when they go and they go to Kevin Bacon's house and all that.
Been reading your newspapers.
Right. You guys, you never heard of Havana syndrome? You guys need to read past page 1 in the New York.
Page 1.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing that the movie showed was the way that people would react, like you're saying. And Julia Roberts' character in the movie is probably, do you think that her character is probably how like 90% of the population would react? I think that's, just total like aloof, like, the guy presents the facts and the evidence of shit because he works for the hedge fund or whatever. And she goes, now, wait a minute. Are you saying that there are these things called banks?
Yeah.
I don't believe. I mean, they just go on about their lives and they're like totally unaware, even though the fucking freighter just washed up on the beach, right?
Right. Yeah. Did you bring up the thing about because I was listening to Isaac the other night, and I was like, I'm trying to remember. I was like, did Billy bring this up about them going to get coffee, and of course Starbucks, and you have the sirens, and then the ship is shipwrecked.
Oh,
or the
nice.
freighter.
That's got to be Isaac.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I never would have considered that, because they go to Starbucks right after, right, or before?
Yeah,
it had to be after, because it's like, man, I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was still too thrown by the fact that like she's like, I hate people and I want to get away from everyone. Then they get there and she's like, I'm gonna go to the grocery store in the town. And Ethan Hawke is such a fucking loser in the movie, dude. It's, of course, right. I'm gonna do this one right for you. And he gets in a car and the GPS doesn't work and his whole world is over.
Yeah, and to me, there are certainly places that I've been out. So I'm like, look, if that happens, that would be me in certain areas for sure. I probably couldn't. I mean, I'd probably look at a map. I'm sure I have a map. I'm trying to remember if I have a current map in my car, but I would definitely get a map out and all that. But I'm like, I mean, a lot of people, that would certainly be them.
Yeah. Yeah, people's reliance on this stuff is, it's just a everyday fact now. But the dropping the flyers on the road was weird because I couldn't tell what was coming at him the way they shot it, because it's just like a massive red from the sky. And I was thinking of, War of the Worlds and with the red weed that, and all that shit. But when he got a copy of the flyer and took it back, I was like, this is awesome. I could just imagine if any of us saw the flyer. It was obvious to me when I saw the flyer that, and then of course the the psychotronic the ELF weapon, right?
Mhm.
But
The,
the
the
deer shit, like what I didn't get. What were they doing?
well, JD brought this up too. I think when he was talking about his, I forget what is the disease that can spread through uh, wildlife like that where they aren't.
Lyme disease?
No, it isn't like it's basically like a zombie type disease where they aren't afraid of humans and stuff. Their normal instincts aren't basically what they should be anyway, and so they lose the fear of coming up to humans and all that kind of stuff. I think that's part of it. And then when they're surrounded towards the end, I kind of took that more as nature saying you are the parasites, and, blah blah blah. That was my take on it. But I think both of them together, the combination together, is kind of what they were trying to hint at. And I think
Right.
Jay made that same point.
Um,
Playing into the entire green, agenda of things and getting the numbers down.
Yeah, because I guess the massive ELF weapon would, if that alone, shit like that throws nature off, right? Their sort of radar, their instincts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say something. This is probably me misinterpreting, but the thing with the flyers,
Uh-huh.
I didn't uh, infer what they were trying to infer, but I took that as at first they're saying it's in what the first one's in Arabic or Aramaic or and then Kevin Bacon's like, oh yeah, I got some, and they were in the other kind,
Right.
The other place that's over there.
Durka. Yeah.
So I interpreted that as it's probably MIC causing confusion, and it's really them.
Yeah.
Is that how you took it as well?
Yes. Yeah. That it was.
Isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't because I think in Isaac, he's like, oh, and supposedly they're teamed up, and I'm like, the other place that we are alluding to, and then the CHI or excuse me, the IRA.
China.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's like they're teamed up. I'm like, no, that doesn't. No, I didn't take it like that at all. I took it as they're different flyers to confuse you.
Yeah, I thought that was. I mean, when he sort of illustrated the 3 points of the Neo Blitzkrieg or whatever it was,
right?
the purposeful mass misinformation and which is funny because like that is an example of hearts and minds, right? Of the Phoenix shit, which is that this mass confusion of like sort of like easy to grasp information, and then you lose your bearings because you're like, what the fuck?
Right.
Why would one be this and the other's that for the average person, I guess? And when they read this and they go, oh, the Durkas are here, everyone would go, oh, Syria's invading the United States, and you're like, what the fuck? I think why does it say made by Rand Corporation on the
right?
But I think that also one detail that I brought up was that she's like, we need to fill up the tub. You got a fucking swimming pool. That pissed me off because they have a swimming pool full of water and they don't even like think of that. And then the animals, something gets in the pool. So now the water's, it was little things like that were annoying. And also the fact that the big point, which is that, Mahershala Ali's characters works for Soros or whatever, that type of character. And they get to this big moment where he says, the scariest part is not that, the cabal is controlling everything. It's that nobody's in control.
Yeah, that was.
And I went, this is weird that this would be in the script, which is approved by Obama, who was the consultant on the movie. Right. Which is like a sort of meta destabilization thing. And it shows that in the end, that's not true because you see the skyline, and the city is being bombed and attacked by coordinated
Mm-hmm.
big army
Yep.
MIC elements.
That's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
So I loved that like the little mutant girl went to the bunker and like immediately started gorging on tricks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else was there? It was a bunch
I
of
haven't
stuff.
eaten for 4 hours.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I do the same thing. Like she had all kinds of stuff laid out.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was that I was gonna bring up? Oh, yeah. So, like you're saying, how much? This is the interesting part to me. How much of it is a wink at us that are aware of all this? Do you think? And how much of it is for the normie sphere watching who are going to eat it up and say, you know? Because to me, in my mind, I'm like, obviously, know a certain percentage of us that are quote unquote aware of all these things are going to watch this movie, and how much of it you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a good point. I mean, I think so revelation of the method, predictive programming, purposeful. It's weird because the disinfo in the movie is it's like a symbol and simulacra, right? It's functioning for the people watching the movie.
Right.
So it's the question is like whether the people who watch the movie, who just like have, Netflix and watch the movie, right? What's their concept of the characters and how they react? Like, what do they think about Julia Roberts? Right. What do they think about what she's trying to achieve in the movie? Because of course they're going to be annoyed by her character because she's purposefully, annoying. Oh, also the guy's wife, like, is obviously gone in the plane, and it's been like 4 hours, and now he's dancing with Julia Roberts in the right with the records on. So those things, like, I think it would be easy to say that those are like it's a bad movie, or that those are just like oversights, or continuity. Like, they didn't think about those things, but obviously they did. And I think part of that in the movie is to show that, first of all, even though they're a family and they're together, and the guy's with his daughter or whatever, which was also weird because I was like, is this his daughter? How old is this daughter? First of all, right? Because Mahershala Ali's daughter was like in her late 20s.
Yeah.
So that was odd. But it shows that just because the family unit is together, they're not cohesive. They have no. What do they have? First of all, is this like an atheistic, cucked out New York postmodern dead tech bikini kill? I write for Spin magazine family, right? But I guess it's showing us that, regardless of the outer events that are, like society is being pummeled and crushed, and there's the Teslas, right, and the electric cars and all that, things are going haywire, but the individuals, it's not just fight or flight, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It can also be like completely aloof, which is like probably the worst possible thing to be in the situation. I mean, when the oil tanker comes onto the beach and they react the way they do, it's over. Right? Because if you were on that beach with your family and that happened, you at the very minimum would be like, I'm going to get on Twitter or something and say, what is this shit? This isn't normal. What caused this thing, and do we need to get the fuck out of here? And then the family showing up at the door, and it's like, that's a weird situation. I mean, you mentioned that and like how you would react with your neighbors, but if you were Ethan Hawke and that was your family and they showed up at the door, what do you do?
I don't know. I thought about that. That's a tough call for real. I think I would react pretty much well, certainly I would especially ask for ID and all that, and I would think in IRL that people would have their ID.
But that makes you a WACIST.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, I mean, it's weird because when people are confronted with that actual situation, they say they do one thing, but then it's like, yeah, but these people these are human beings. So what do? You just start blasting from the living room. I could predict what people I know would do, which is they're not coming in, right?
Yeah.
And that's before they even know that something has happened. So it's even weirder that they would just show up at the door. Like, is anybody ever in a Airbnb and the owners of the place show up at the door and want to come in and spend the night? That's fucking weird,
You're right.
dude.
Totally.
There's no way. Of course, I've never been in an Airbnb, so.
Yeah. Did you, I'm sure you brought it up. One thing I just kind of noticed is when he's kind of going through his set of keys and then he finally gets into his little place where the money is.
You got that gat in there.
Yeah. And I knew that kind of played into the entire WACE, WAY, CISS thing where, he's the cool, calm, collected one, very easily could have gotten it out. And then obviously later on is when Julie Roberts has her change of heart, and you can see that entire narrative, you know what I mean? But I just thought that was interesting too. But I don't know, I probably gone on way too long with another movie with Die Hard. And I didn't apologize to bring that up.
You didn't know this is a 24-hour stream.
Oh, snap.
We're going into the new year.
Oh, boy.
How long we been on? Damn, almost 3 hours. Well, we're doing a little Skinemax After Dark late night streaming here.
For real.
Plus the European chat, this is their time. Well, no, it wouldn't be because it would be like 6 a.m. So this is for the night crawlers out there. You guys, this is for the night crawlers. What'd you say? I think you don't know. I know yeah, that's right. And then what did he say? I don't know. But Julie Roberts has a weird face. Yeah, she's got that. She's also got that horse walk. Next stop, Hollywood. Oh. My sister, every movie with Julie Roberts she brings up. Look at her walk. Watch her walk. It's noticeable how she can't walk. Like she's bow-legged or something.
So she waddles like Papa Ewok does.
She's like, no, Papa Ewok. Jamie did a good impression of AJ. We were at dinner. It was very funny because she did very little, but I knew right away. I was like, no, you got it. She said like, no, he walks like, I don't know. I don't remember how she did it, but it was very funny. Yeah, Nightcrawler. Yeah, Nightcrawlers represent, I think that I don't know, dude. The movie, is it aimed at us? I mean, like, I don't even think they have a concept of that. Really? I mean, because look at the Kevin Bacon character. Like, was that so off on purpose, or are they totally like boomer teching it and think that that's real? I
think that my view is that they didn't want to overtly do that because they knew that all of the MAGA people were going to latch on immediately.
Good point. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think they did. That was the intent, but they didn't want to do it overtly like that.
Show me them damn tunnels.
Yeah.
Kind of like I guess the counterpoint would be, remember that Cloverfield Lane movie with John Goodman in the bunker?
Right.
He would be kind of the counterpoint to the Kevin Bacon guy, I guess.
Yeah.
And in that movie, it's like overtly, like you don't actually know if he's as psychotic as he seems in the movie, which is like where the dread comes from. I guess until he shoots the guy and puts him in a barrel, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But you're thinking like is this guy just doing a Leonard Lake and Charles Ng operation here with the girl in the bunker, or is there really something going on outside?
Mm-hmm.
Only to find out that the holographic Gil Bates robo droid fake and grays are real outside.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that made perfect sense to me, but I wonder if anybody's going to watch this and be like, what the fuck? What are those words? No, it's a disaster alien invasion movie, right? I don't know. I think that movies, the disaster movie has been a thing, obviously, for, it's a sort of ever present theme. But these movies are sure, like, do you think that they'll have the same theme like in the End of the World movie, the Julia Roberts movie? Do you think that'll keep popping up? Is it going to be a new thing?
I think so, probably, because I probably would have said I don't know, but then all of a sudden here came Alex Garland, which is going to be, what, in April or so, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I know that's going to be a big one. So I don't know. That's interesting. I'm sure it probably will be.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that, dude. I've done Alex Garland here. People, if you're watching this, you can see my beach analysis. Men, his movie Men.
You did Devs the other night.
That's right.
Shout out to BLA told me to watch Devs. When was that? BLA? It must have been like, 4 or 5 years ago now. Oh, yeah. 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years almost, pretty much. Yeah, if you have not seen Devs, I know BLA covered it, definitely watch Devs.
That one's worth it, dude. That was a little gem.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really well done. It's fucking terrified me, dude. It was so like that one scene in like episode 4 is so fucking terrifying to me. Oh, also it's got it's got that song. Remember that song Guinevere by Crosby? They used that song in one scene, and I was like, damn, dude, this is. I love it when movies do that. When I love music in movies, because they you always find like a song out of nowhere that is in surround sound, and like the way that they do that scene in Devs when they play that song is amazing. And
you mean like at the end of Prince of Thieves with Bryan Adams? Is that what you get?
Hell yes, dude. Or like at the end of License to Kill when they play the Chrissy Hines song. If I was a man who could dream of. You remember that song? A million miles for someone just like you.
Dude, yeah, we have to, next time we jump on, we got to do a Bond shot. I told you the other day, I watched License to Kill after, KILL. I hadn't seen it in a long time.
They took a nice honeymoon.
Yeah.
Dario, dude, Benicio del Toro. Awesome.
Yeah, it just, at first, the first time I watched, for whatever reason, I'm like, Davi's okay. I watched it this time, like, man, he was such a good villain for this type of movie they were going for. You know what I mean? Amazing.
Pet iguana with a diamond necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Got a license to kill, and it's coming straight for your heart. Got a license to kill. Gladys Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my two favorite Bonds are the two Timothy Daltons. I think maybe because I was like 7 and 9 when they came out. The scene where remember the scene where he's water skiing on the fucking thing and like, License to Kill. That was like a really big like extreme sports back then. And plus like Living Daylights is the Afghan opium trade, and the it's got the fucking Osama bin farting, yo mama bin farting. What's it saying? That one was not a hit. It's got that character in it. And then License to Kill, so it's got opium in the first one, and then the second one is cocaine. Is the Escobar?
Mm-hmm. You got the yayo.
Oh, also, here's something. the villain henchman in The Living Daylights plays one of the henchmen in Die Hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah, we brought it all
Yeah.
together.
The guy's, isn't it the same guy in True Lies? Or is that a different guy?
Oh no, the bad guy in True Lies is the Afghan warlord
Yeah.
in Living Day. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the guy. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Interesting.
Remember, he's the bad guy. And he's like throwing those like explosive milk bottles.
Mhm.
That's in. Which, by the way, I think that was that filmed at Checkers, the Churchill uh, SIS cryptography
Oh,
place.
was
I
it?
think it
Really?
might have been.
Huh.
Um. Anyway, those are good. Those are good flicks. I like Timothy Dalton. I think he's fucking. I think he was. I think he's. I like him the best of the Bonds. I guess also because that people generally don't like him in those movies, but he's like I don't know. There's like a heaviness with him as Bond that's different from the other guys. He's not cartoony.
Mhm.
He's kind of older. He's like suave, but like in a believable spy way. He's not,
Mhm.
overtly like Daniel Craig and all that. And
Yeah, you could tell that was, you know, obviously they were coming off of Roger Moore, which, is exactly what you're talking about with the cartoonish aspect. So you can see why they transitioned into that.
but shouts out to Roger Moore. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I love fucking Moonraker rules, dude. I love Moonraker.
oh man, we got to do a Bond stream next time for real, Billy, for real.
One time I saw just randomly on TV they had Shirley Bassey, the singer for Moonraker knows, and she goes. I heard her say one thing in this like little documentary. She goes, "Every time I play Carnegie, they ask me to play and sing Moonraker. I always apply. Every time you play Carnegie, what? I didn't know. I didn't know she was this legendary lady or whatever, but I guess she was.
Hmm.
She's got 3 songs: Moonraker, Diamonds Are Forever, right? What's the other one she does? Oh, Goldeneye. Yeah.
GoldenEye, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. She rules.
Oh man, yeah. I'm chomping at the bit already. I could already see the Bond stream. That'll be the marathon stream.
Well, when I was at home, my dad has all the Bond, like the paperbacks that, the original paperbacks, because he read them when he was a kid, right when they came. My dad loved Bond, of course. And I almost picked up one of them to read because it's one of the ones that came later after Fleming died. And remember, they were publishing like the Bond like novels, but it was one of the ones they didn't make into a movie.
Yeah.
But I didn't pick it up. But the books are wet. Like the books, it's surprising how different the books are than the films. Because what's the one that I read recently? I think it was Dr. No, I guess. And it's much more serious. There's not even from the beginning, like in Dr. No, remember how Dr. No begins like with the montage and it's got like the 3 blind mice and they're playing like marimba music and they're
Yep.
in, it's like a lighthearted tone.
Mm.
And that's like not really in the books as far as I could tell, but
And Jack Lord, of course, is Felix,
oh yeah,
which is wild.
that's awesome. Yeah, Felix Leiter's cool, dude. Also, that's a radical name. I like that name. Do I look like I need the money? Yeah, dude. Quantum of Solace, I think, is one of my. I like that movie. It's underrated. Because first of all, the villain is that French dude who looks like Polanski.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he? Oof.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't notice that. No, you said that.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like
goodness.
spitting image. I think they're friends. He was in one of his Polanski's movies, I think. But what's that guy's name? Anyway, I don't know. But and Olga Kurylenko. But it's got David Harbour. Remember, David Harbour is the like corrupt CIA guy on the plane.
Yep.
Who, by the way, just out of nowhere, like David Harbour is a total long shot for like being. You notice how like now he's he's like a leading man now, right? Or they're
Right.
trying to make him that.
They're trying to make it. Yeah.
Yeah, Stranger Things kind of did that for him, but like it's very weird, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because I think he was a misfire with Hellboy. Because I was
Right.
thinking, oh, this is when he's going to get it, and it's like,
Yeah, I mean he's a solid character actor, and he's great. I do like him in Stranger Things because he's he's like a gruff, lovable, whatever. But I saw that the Deadly Night Christmas movie. He's Santa Claus. Have you seen
all
that?
right. Yeah.
I kind of like. I thought it was a good. I enjoyed it. It's also It's a Die Hard movie. Obviously, it's a derivative of Die Hard. They even mentioned Die Hard in the movie. But it's funny because like there's a flashback scene where he's talking to this little girl, and there's a flashback scene of like where he comes from, and he's this fucking vicious like Celtic Viking dude with runes tattooed all over him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's like, why did you? And he's like, all I would love to do was like steal and like kill and just destroy stuff. And she's like, why did you do that? And he's like, greed. Like I wanted gold, I wanted things, and I had this hammer, and like this hammer was awesome. And it's really weird in the movie because I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like there are certain actors that are effective because of this thing that they do. It's like in their eyes and in their voice, which is film, obviously, but you believe him when he says those things in the movie, but the rest of the movie, like you're kind of like, it's not really taken seriously.
Yeah,
but
interesting.
I guess because he's a damaged, hero, like trying to redeem himself with this little kid. He cares about this little girl, and that's, it's wholesome. But he goes on to kill a fucking bunch of people with a sledgehammer, which it's well done in the movie. But again, it's another movie where you watch it, and I was like, this movie was not filmed in America, obviously. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it's set in America, but it's like the wood or the house or there's something about it where you're like, there's something off here. It's just not,
something's off.
Yeah. And it's not American. It's, it's filmed in Canada, but like, it's about this billionaire family at this, family compound. And you're like, no one would live in this house, dude. This is a hotel. It's clearly a hotel. So anyway, I don't know. I know I'm rambling, people.
We do a little rambling. It's called we do a little rambling.
We do a little trolling. It's called we do a little.
My goodness, man, we have gone 3 hours, haven't we? Good.
Do we like Ramaswamy? Yes, we like Ramaswamy. It might be a character defect, but I tend to like people who like me. And don't say that Krispy Kreme is a fat. You can say the word pig, but you can't say the word fat. Don't say that. That's terrible.
What happened to? Well, I guess Krispy Kreme he dropped out or something.
Oh, did he?
Well, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Oh no, Tim Scott did, I think. But
I mean, I haven't paid attention at all. I mean,
I haven't seen any.
All I know is through Mersh and Royce that like they went to one of the debates.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
And they said that it was weird how there were these like plants in the audience for what's her name, Nikki, and she's obviously their person, like Jamie Dimon and all these who was it, Koch brothers endorsed Nikki, right? So she's the no drama candidate, I guess. I don't care. Nikki Haley, show us your. Remember what he said about Obama? He's going to say the same thing about her. Pocahontas.
Oh, did you? I forgot to tell you the other day that they started. I don't know where this originated, but they started a hashtag on Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter.
Was this the Trump smells bad thing?
Yeah, Trump smells was the thing, and I'm like, where did this come from?
Yeah, my buddy showed me that yesterday at lunch, and I was like, "This is weak." Right, because obviously somebody made this thinking that people would forget about Joe Biden being that actual guy, right? Remember when he went to the Vatican and all that? This is weak, dude.
But you know what's been wiped? Like, well, obviously, it's like you're saying, they're trying to do that because apparently they're around the same age. I'm like, so what? I mean, they're saying that. I saw somebody, they posted a thing. It was when Trump was doing his WWE stuff. And they're like, see, you can see a diaper right there. Or whatever. It's like, what are you people talking about? It's just ridiculous. I can't handle it anymore. See, this is why we do crazy memes all day.
Do I like the Pope? They asked me if I like the Pope. I came in and they said, "Do I like the Pope?" I thought about it. You know, he's a big climate extinction rebellion guy. You know, maybe that's responsible for the heat in here. It's hot in here. I said that at a rally. No, I like Nick Mullen's take on Trump because he's like, look, this dude is the last American stand-up. Right, when you put the Seinfeld music over his speeches, and he's like, "What's the deal with straws? What's the deal with the water pressure in the White House? They don't want you to have water pressure. It's not hot enough." It's like, I love that shit. Just riffing, just riffing and crowd work.
Did you go to any of his rallies at any point?
Dude, I've never been to a political anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Did you? Did you go to one?
I did. Yeah, I did go to one the first time around.
I remember that.
I just thought, what the heck, Everybody said they're fun. Like,
dude, I bet it was. It was fun, wasn't it? I bet it was a fucking blast.
Oh, it was so funny. There were all these people they had a certain number of blue-haired, pink-haired people up in the upstairs, and they would just one by one. They timed it like every 5 minutes. Stand up, start yelling, and he would just stop.
Get her out of here. She's a Bikini Kill fan. Get her out of here. We don't like her.
It was so funny.
We're all Swifties here. We don't like that punk rock.
But the buzzkill was that Giuliani was the guy that came out to introduce.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh. I'm like, oh, man. Just trying to remember who else was there. But America's mayor.
No, I bet it was a blast. And I bet how many like boomer, what do they call them? Like Jeep Wrangler divorced women drunk on like natty lights. I bet there were a lot of those.
Yeah, there were significant.
Deep life. Yeah. And then the boat, the what do they call them? The MAGA boat people. Remember those people?
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, I don't know. I remember, you remember the Ali G show?
Oh yeah.
Remember when he Trump was the only dude on that show that he didn't get. Right? Remember he was trying to troll Trump. Real? Yeah, and he sits down with Trump. And Trump's like, "I don't have a lot of time. What do you want? What's up with your outfit?" And he's like, trying to like do this thing about ice cream to him, and immediately Trump's like, "This guy's a clown. He's a joke. A good day to you. You're ugly. I gotta go."
Didn't quite.
That was like 2004 or something.
Man, yes, that's a long time. Apparently, it didn't work out the same way with Ron Paul, of course.
Right? Yeah, that was sad. I felt bad for Ron Paul in that.
For real, he was freaked out, man. I'm like, dude, you don't do that to old timers like Ron Paul.
Yeah, because he clearly was trusting and like had the best intentions and was sitting there giving him his time. But I do think it's funny that when they had that one debate, he gets up there and Rand Paul said that stuff, and Trump goes, "Rand Paul, you're ugly. Look at your face," and it was just over. Like what?
Oh man.
Let's see. Here's this. Hold on. Let me read it on my phone because I can't. I don't want to. I'm like scared of getting near the keyboard, right? Because like it's so sensitive that if I like make one wrong move on this thing, it's frozen. It's over.
Mm.
So I didn't really need to describe all that, but let's see. We got a comment here, and then we'll start to wind it down here for the after darkers. That's me. The volume's on the night crawlers here. Let's see. Tosca says, "Thanks to all for giving me a lighter second thought line. While would you say clean back to the solar parameters I build? Couldn't follow the chat much, but it's been nice." Awesome, dude. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks everybody for coming in, stopping by. Ice cream jokes. Ice cream jokes. We're telling ice cream jokes. Yeah. So thanks everybody. Appreciate y'all stopping by, being here for the night crawlers. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to all the members. If you want to grab a membership, if you don't have one, you can grab one. You can grab a membership. Thanks for the support, you guys. Thanks for the super chat. I think we got some super chats. I should check those.
Super chat.
Let's see. Hold on, I gotta switch back over here.
Is he gonna read the super chats? Why has he gotta play that music? Is he gonna read the super chats?
Why is the music so long?
Why I gotta play that intro music so long?
This shit is complicated. Hold on. All right, here we go. So thanks again to all the members out there. Appreciate y'all. And I know we got a super chat in here. Let's see. This is from, let me expand this without shutting it down. It's from Port Film Co-ops. Drops. Let's see. What's that? Australian $2. Thank you. I like the high-tech Orientalism in DH and Rising Sun. Okay, good comment, dude. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, good point. The high-tech Orientalism in what's DH? Oh, Die Hard and Rising Sun. Yeah, it's a good point and a good observation. And Rising Sun is Kohan. That's a good one. I read the book. I remember reading the book at Christmas time in like sixth grade. That's a good Michael Crichton. And it's interesting how they have Sean Connery in the movie as this. Was that Rising Sun? Yeah, as the liaison between the corporate Japanese overlords, I guess, and the American corporate structure and the cops. He's kind of a Michael Clayton figure in that, right? Because Michael Clayton, R.I.P. Tom Wilkinson. I didn't know that he had passed away.
Yeah, just today.
That's sad. He's great, dude. That movie rules. Michael Clayton's very, very good movie. It doesn't seem like it would be a good movie, but it's solid. It's very good, very well done. Let's see. Shouts out to, is this from this week? That's 10 days ago. Yeah. Okay. I think that's our only super chat tonight. I did get some support that I'll give a shout out now to throughout the week. So let's see. I always confuse Rising Sun sometimes with Disclosure, the Demi Moore, Michael Douglas. That one's crazy because it's about, what's the fucking thing they make in Taiwan? It's in The Departed. What's the deal they're making at the end? It's for computer parts. What are the parts there? What do they make in Taiwan, you guys? What's the computer part?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Fucking no Tiki. Right. But that came up recently. I was talking to my friend about remember the Malaysian avionics event, right? And his theory was that it was a thing that happened because there were like 9 guys representing some corporation, some Chinese corporation on the plane, and they were apparently their cargo was microprocessors. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they represented some company, so that may have had something to do with the thing that happened. But that's what disclosure is about. Remember, because they were headed to Malaysia. They make them in Malaysia in the film, and of course that was an early like cyberspace movie. They got to go into cyberspace to retrieve the files. Yeah, so shouts out to Randy who sent another $1. Thank you so much, Randy. Appreciate you. Shouts out to Ethan again for that $4. Appreciate you for Cywar. Let's see, there's a PayPal in here. Shouts out to Kat who sends $5 on PayPal. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kat. And again, shouts out to the realist John Connor who sent $20 on PayPal. Wow, it's late, you guys. It's late. Only another 17 hours of this stream. I'm just kidding. So, all right, Jethro. Lead us out here. What does that mean to play us out? To play us out. All right, go. Anything you want to shout out? Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to shout out, hey, BLA, for allowing me to come on. I think it's the first time. It's been awesome. I have to say thank you very much, BLA. Hope we can do it again pretty soon, for real. Also, Happy New Year to you, sir. And Happy New Year to everyone in the chat, everyone that will watch this later on. Big shout out to all the homies. You know who you are. And, of course, everybody's favorite channels. JD, Jamie, Kotizzy, Tristan. Who else we got? Jerry, Kutski.
Yeah.
Man, we got all kinds of people joining in. I don't know if I'm going to be joining in or not. We'll see. People have been encouraging, trying to get me started, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm cut out for it exactly, but we'll see.
Well, I'll give you some encouragement here because, after all, you got me started here.
Yeah. Oh, guys, you don't know how long I pestered BLA for. How long was it?
I mean, it was it was funny because it was a solid 2 years, right?
Oh yeah, at least
Because we talked about this stuff, and it's funny how I got a comment the other day. I saw a comment come in saying, was this your premiere for your channel? And I was like thinking, premiere? I don't know if that's the right. But it's funny because I left those streams up because you can see the progression of shit as time went on. Because I started with I didn't even have an internet. I had a hotspot on the phone.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And then we kept going and stuff, and so yeah, I think you should. I love this. This is it's good times, and I'm so glad that you joined me here live, so we can do this live. This is a real treat, you guys. I'm glad we did this late night because Jethro is a good friend of mine, and this was cool to just talk shit, right? Do a little goofing. We don't always. We can do whatever, right? And we can, sometimes you just got to talk shit because also everybody's so far apart from everybody, and it's good to connect and just talk about shit, right? Talk about movies how we want to. That's fine.
Yeah, it's good that we can connect while we still can.
there's enough like there are enough topics in the world where we can talk about other stuff right every once in a while. Shouts out to Toledo out there who says Happy New Year. It's already is it already New Year? It must be already New Year there.
Man, it's like already next Saturday over there.
I mean, it's already summer there.
Shouts out Toledo, for real.
Yeah, Toledo. Love you, Toledo. So I will be getting back into the swing of things here, into the serious topics. I've got a big stack of books to to do, and I've already made my way through some of them. A big one coming up sometime, hopefully. I don't know when, but will be a stream on the esoteric architecture of DC. They call it DC. With Jamie. Shouts out to Jamie out there because she got me to read this Dan Brown book, The Lost Symbol, the Da Vinci Code guy, and which, by the way, is a very funny book. It's not supposed to be, but we've been sending these quote. There are websites devoted to the writing style of Dan Brown, and I appreciate this because even though I try to focus on the canon, sometimes you got to look at things as a contrast, to see, to look at his writing style. It's very funny. I'll quote one right now. He says, he looked down when he shook the man's hand, and he noticed the gold signet ring with platinum bands studded with diamonds and sapphires. Only a keen eye would notice such a thing. A keen eye indeed. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? Anybody would notice that. First of all, a man wearing a ring at all, people notice that. And second of all, it's just funny. It's very funny how Robert Langdon is the goes like bumbles through this shit. And it's also weird how Dan Brown, like, he has all of the esoteric elements, all the language, all the terms and shit. But there's this like process of disbelief that you go through because of Langdon's character. Like, he's a Harvard professor, and this dude walks in and he goes, "Oh, a Yale professor in Crimson territory? I never thought I would see the day." It's like, what are you talking about? So anyway, we'll be doing that and talking about the actual symbolism of the architecture in DC, which is potent, of course. And a couple other things. I got the Bret Easton Ellis book, The Shards, his latest novel, which came out last January. I finally got it, but I'm glad I waited because I found a signed copy hidden amongst the bookshelves in Oxford, Mississippi. So that was a good little plus. And also this Kubra Khan book by Horsley. I'll probably be talking about probably Full Metal Jacket with that one. Just
nice.
Because I've done Clockwork Orange, and Eyes Wide Shut is, anyway, I'll be discussing Kubrick and some things that I got out of that. And what else? This Rasputin biography that I read, I might do that one.
Isn't there a certain book by Mark Frost? Or
good point, good catch, dude.
Oh,
yes.
I don't know. I don't know. It seemed like I heard something. I don't know.
I did say that would be the next one, so I should jump on that. So yes, I'll be doing. So this is thanks to Jethro, who got me into Twin Peaks, and I'll be doing Twin Peaks Firewalk with me, the movie analysis, and the Mark Frost, the final dossier book.
That's going to be amazing, for real.
I'll probably have to get you on that one because you're the Twin Peaks expert, and I'm just going into Firewalk with me, which, if you guys haven't seen that film, it's very, I don't know how to describe it, but that actress playing Laura Palmer is amazing.
Yeah, even as a standalone, take it out from the series, it really is. It's very, very good.
One thing, okay, so one question here about that. When I watch the film, it's obvious to me from the beginning of it that Ray Wise is Bob, right?
Spoilers.
But is that because spoiler? Is that because I know that from the from Jay and from the frequent analyses of Twin Peaks, right? Or is it
probably because they don't. It's very crafty how they do it in the series. They kind of hint at it in the series, but then they misdirect you at times to keep you away from Leland.
Right.
It's very, very tastefully done. I'll say that. And so, much like Usual Suspects, your eyes are particularly on other people Ben Horn in particular, who is the owner of the hotel. Richard Bamer, is that his name? Bamer. He was in West Side Story. I'd forgotten about that. I forget if he was a shark or what is it, Jets and Sharks.
Right.
Anyway, they don't really, as far as what I know, I'm not really an expert, but I know that there are a lot of buffs out there is that supposedly they were going to wait till the end of the second season to reveal. And I actually heard Bob Iger. I think it's Bob Iger. It might have been, who's the other guy that was at Disney? And
Eisner?
it might have been Eisner talking about it, but he was saying that, yeah, they wanted him to kind of get to it quicker. So that's why they ended up with the Wyndham Earl storyline later on in the second season, which I don't think that Lynch wanted to do that, but I could be wrong. But apparently they were saying, we need you to hurry it up and reveal who it is. And so they kind of rushed it just a little bit in the series.
Hello, Coop.
Yeah.
Got a light.
I can't wait for you to see that part. Oh, my goodness. Episode that people in the chat know if you've seen season 3, episode 8 is just like
Hobo demons.
I just remember sitting there when it got done. It's like my mind was scrambled eggs or something. It's like what in the world?
Yeah. I'm very put off by Lynch in general. I mean, I don't like nonsense things. You know, like nonsense literature, like fucking, you know, I hate Lewis Carroll and Dr. Seuss, and I get like a icky feeling I always have from that. And like Lynch kind of does. I mean, he's purposely doing that, obviously, but I don't know. It's there's like this weird nonsensical, chaotic underlying thing.
You don't like the chaos. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, because he does it so well. It's like so palpable. It's very uncomfortable. I mean, like I remember my friend gave me a copy of Lost Highway to watch. He was like, "You should watch this." And so I made the mistake when I was like 17 of watching it like late at night alone. And I was just, dude, I was so fucking freaked out by that movie. It's even the very beginning, like just even the shots like on the highway, right?
Right.
To me were like, there's just this invisible thing in it. And also, you know, with Bob and all that, I think Firewalk with Me, like you said, like does them, it's more concise, I guess, in terms of, okay. So I think the key probably with all that is that now that we're in this world where DID and all this stuff is so ubiquitous, at least in like the literature and films and stuff, and we know these things or have a grasp on them. It made it easier for me watching the movie because I went, you know, like when they jump cut, when they show him, you know, walking in, and they show him that, oh my God, that horrible scene with Bob coming out from behind the fucking dresser or whatever in her bedroom. Holy shit, dude. I mean, that is so bad. That is so, and she's so good in the movie, dude. She's like clearly really broken, you know? So anyway.
Well, if you go through the series again, just tell me and I'll give you the spots you need to look for. There's one in, I think it's the first episode of the second season. And it's Ronette's flashback. You probably saw me posting it on my Insta, but that is the one that took the cake for me. First time I watched it, I was just like, oh my gosh, because it just comes out of nowhere when you watch the episode. And
Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Yeah, there you go. Can you imagine if Dennis Hopper was in Twin Peaks?
I can't tell the difference between real life and the movies, man.
I'm an American.
You can't go out into space. You can't go out into space, man. What are you going to land on? Fractions? 1/5, 2/4? those are it's dialectic physics, man. Dialectic logic. You either love somebody.
When he died.
Look at me, wrong.
Wrong. Yeah.
He's with his people. He's gone away, man. He's with his people.
Tap him with the siren.
I'm an American. You know, the other day I took his picture and he said, if you take my picture again, I'll kill you. And he meant it. Man, you don't talk to him, man. You listen to him, man. Man, I mean, he reads poetry out loud, man. And a voice. A voice. Yeah, he's got plans for you, man.
I like that little clip of him and I know you've seen that clip of him and Coppola when they're on set, and he's just like Coppola's bitching at him about the lines. He's like, "Well, you rewrite them every day, man," or whatever. It's like, no wonder I can't memorize them.
Did you know that if is the middle word in life, man? You know that if you can keep your head with all about you, I should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across floors of silent seas, man. He like puts Eliot and Kipling and all this shit, and it's like Kurtz is over there reading from Ritual to Romance, right? Jesse Weston, and like, did the movie? Well, I don't know.
That's a totally separate stream, isn't it?
It's totally separate. Yeah.
Of course, you've already done it too, so.
You want to wait around here for 6 hours?
Let's.
Long dong wop or dop. And I'll put it right down where you want, young captain. Apocalypse Now, everybody, if you didn't know. Yeah, so I'll be doing Twin Peaks. And I got this book, Devil House. I'll be doing that one. I got to be doing. Oh, shouts out. Oh, sorry. Before I forget, yes. Sponsor stream. Let's see. Somebody. Who was that? It's late. That's why I can't remember. I'll be going back to Shakespeare. Let's see. Oh, yes. Shouts out to JG. I'll say JG. I don't want if you don't want me to say your full name. Who said $50 wants me to do the Coriolanus stream on Shakespeare's play and the film that has Ray Fiennes and Gerard Butler. Things are about to get sporty. I'll be doing that. And they got a bunch of people supporting. Again, shouts out to the real John Connor who supported me big time over the break there. Shouts out to, let's see, Micah, who said the videos have been amazing. I'm not going to give you your name now that I just read. I'm not going to give you your screen name here because, just in case. But you know who you are, and thank you very much. Really appreciate you. Sent $25. Videos have been amazing. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Shouts out to Mark out there who said, "Merry Christmas, brother. Cheers for your content. You deserve so many more eyes on what you do," and sent 1216. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Shouts out to iPack Arts who makes my thumbnails. And he recently did the Manson one, Chaz Manson. Shouts out to Aaron Head, by the way, who's a big supporter of DPH and Church of the Eternal Logos. And he has sponsored a stream on Kurt Vonnegut. Slaughterhouse 5 Breakfast of Champions. So I'll be doing that soon. I asked DPH if he wanted to be involved in that. It's only fair also because he has asked me to do those movie streams that he sponsored. So thanks again to Aaron. Really appreciate you out there. As always, shouts out to Jason, who dropped some support and is very helpful over here. Shouts out to Amy, again, who recently donated. And thank you to everybody. Shouts out to Crystalline out there. We love you. As always, shouts out to Randy. Again, drops another $1. Thank you so much, Randy. Appreciate you. I think I gave a shout out to Maddie, the real Cooter Brown, Digital Minefield, who sent $4 in that last stream. I think I mentioned that. And bear with me here, y'all. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. As always, I mean that from my heart. Shouts out to Dana, who sent $5 and said, I think you should check out Inside with Defoe. What's Inside?
with Willem Dafoe. Anybody know what that was?
Yeah. I meant to watch that one. That's where he's in the high rise and can't get out. Came out a couple years ago.
Oh, I think
He's
my
trapped.
mom. Yeah, my mom just watched that. She said it was. Is it a disturbing flick? I don't know what it's about at all.
I think the trailer it gave that impression, but I hadn't watched it yet. But
There was a firefight. Symbolism is the word. We were talking earlier about Boondock Saints.
yeah,
Totally reversed my opinion of that movie. Willem Dafoe's great, but that movie, I'll leave that for another time. Shouts out to Adam who sent $50 last week and said road funds. Really appreciate you. Shouts out to Aaron A, who said $20 gas money. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. And I think that's it. Yo, so we're still here. Yep, we're about to sign off here. Thank you so much. Leaves of Grass said, "Oh, the Defoe flick is disturbing." And also, what did you say earlier? You had a good comment here. I wanted to give you a shout out here. You said, you said, "Hey, Lido." I was crafting in the background tonight, so didn't catch too much chat, but I was listening. Hey, shouts out to you, Leaves of Grass. Thank you for being here and thank you for listening. Everybody out there, if you're listening out there in the dark, right? If you're riding out there in the dark, you're a rider on the storm. We love you out there, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season. You're blessed, and you have a wonderful, joyful, happy new year full of love in this next year, because we need love. We got love, but we need love. And man, it's hard sometimes. Things can be dark, but I love y'all. And I really do thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your support, smashing the like, dropping a comment, being here in the chat, reaching out, or just watching the streams. Thank you. That means a lot to me. And I really do hope that this is going to be a great year for us. Godspeed, everybody. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it if you're strong enough.
Tommy Lee Jones.
All right, Jeff. Is that it? We done enough?
Yeah, I think. Let me check my phone. Yeah, I'm at like 10%, so I'm going to die.
What time is it? It's 2:30 in the morning here, Beast Coast time. I don't care, dude. I could go another fucking 7 hours. What else is there to do? Heather's like, I don't know, go to sleep, I guess.
Well, I would stay on my phone. Yeah, for real. I'm getting below my 10% mark. Man, I had it at like 70 earlier. Can you believe it drained that much in just 3 hours? That's crazy.
Yeah, I got these AirPods for my AirPods. Is that what they're called? Earbuds? I'm a boomer. I don't know what they're called, but from my sister, and do they not hold a charge? What's up with that? Why is it so hard to charge your
Yeah, I don't know. I don't own those. I'll put that. The Bluetooth ones?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, what's weird is that I had a long conversation with a friend today on the phone, and I was, I had those in my ears, but at like an hour into the conversation, I realized I was holding my phone up to my face.
Oh.
Very, that was a Joe Bye moment. But you know what? That's all right, because boomer is a mindset, and that's fine with me. So, all right, I'm just babbling here now. All right, I love y'all. We're going to peace out here. Thank y'all. Appreciate you. And I will see you very soon and next time. Maybe tomorrow night. I don't have any time left on StreamYard, so it'll have to be somebody else's if we're going to do a multi people stream. But I love y'all. And keep on LIVIN. All right. Peace.